Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Cast. I am Eki with Bong Gripper and Piika. The trio is back to bring you Newcomer Grand Finals. I'm feeling pretty good about tonight. I'm ready to put on a show, and I'm ready to see these players duke it out here on Bagel, first map of the night. Unheard of in Newcomer Grand Finals.
It's always so fun casting Newcomer, and especially when we're on maps like this where it's just going to be constant fighting and chaos, right? I mean, it's what we've come to expect from all of our Newcomer coverage is that there's always going to be something interesting happening on the map. So I am super excited to be here tonight covering the grand finals, so the big culmination of season 19. And, another thing to remember as well is this is going to be the last real season for a little bit until I believe the summer because of the new RGL announcement. So big stakes here tonight.
This new RGL announcement, I don't think I've.
Oh, you didn't hear?
I don't think I've heard.
You didn't hear about the half season? Yeah, I mean this is yeah, we're gonna have a half season next, so this is gonna be the last grand finals with a full 8 weeks, and we'll get to see the culmination of that before a little bit of a break now. So
I didn't know we were having a half season.
Happy to inform you. But yeah, we'll be starting off on Bagel tonight. Tonight we have the sequel to Water versus No Wind, No Waves. Very excited to get acquainted with both of these teams. What are you thinking about them so far?
Well, we did cover in the Newcomer semifinals. No Wind, No Waves just completely decimated Aaron. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, it was brutal. Something else to note is No Wind, No Waves is actually the 8th seed. They are the bottom of playoffs, and they are in the grand finals. I don't think anybody foresaw this. They have also swept their way into the grand finals. They have not dropped a map. On the other side of things, sequel to Water, they have only dropped one map, and they are the 3rd seed. No Wind, No Waves has been playing like they are the 1st seed. Basically, every game that we have seen them, they have been playing very, very well. They've been playing together extremely well. They've been doing a lot of things that you wouldn't expect to see newcomer teams do, really. I mean, they make plays that you definitely do not expect newcomer teams to be able to make, just because the communication usually isn't all there. The positioning is still a little off because they're still figuring out what to do, right? But these guys, it seems like they've had it on lock for a while, and I would assume that Water also has things on lock, given that, they're here in the grand finals. But I don't think we've covered the sequel to Water yet, unless I am misremembering, though I do have the memory of like a potato, so
well, we can start getting acquainted with them now if we want to start going over the rosters. I'll start. Yeah, we can talk about sequel to Water. First off, on Pocket Scout, we got Corsair Cat. Flank Scout is going to be Bonkers. Roamer is going to be Mist 3 Knight. Pocket is going to be Timot. Demo Man is Tim the Enchanter. And Medic is Dark Looks. So it should be pretty cool to see all these players for the first time, I believe, covered. So excited to see what they have, right? I mean, only losing one match, I believe, is what you said.
Yeah, they only dropped one map.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're here for a reason. So I'm expecting to see some good things out of them. And, it is Newcomer after all. So having consistency in a division like this, where you're still just getting acquainted with the base mechanics of the game and just how competitive works in general, is always super, super impressive to me. But if you want to go over the roster for NWNW, as I'm going to call them probably.
Of course. No Wind, No Waves, a team we have seen before. Like I said, we watched them fight Aaron in the semifinals. Your scouts are going to be 47 Und. I still don't know how to say this guy's name. We never figured this out. It literally just says 47 and then Und. So I'm going to go with that. Your other scout will be Kohakudori. Your roamer will be Miss Petal. Your pocket will be Diamond AK. Your demo will be Glim Glam, and your med will be Mango. And I saw a lot of plays from not only Diamond AK, but also Miss Petal. These two were I'm just gonna say they were tearing stuff up when they were playing. There was a lot of great cohesion between the soldiers. A lot of bombs that would just immediately get followed up on. I mean, it's perfect, honestly.
And just like that, perfect timing. We are going to be going live for our first mid of Bagel. Great to be starting off on some cough action right now so we can get the energy up. So
Absolutely.
here we go now for the first round of Newcomer Grand Finals. I'll have you take this one away.
Absolutely. And starting it off, it looks like No Wind, No Waves, significantly faster to the point than Water, though I don't imagine it'll matter too much. Can't really convert that kind of earliness to something too tangible, at least usually anyway. But they are going to get a lot of good damage. Looks like MST will go down pretty low. Diamond AK will get traded out. That's a soldier for a demo, which is a really good trade to have here. If you are on the side of Water, makes it significantly easier for you to be able to pressure over the point. You just have to play around your demo's damage, and that's exactly what they're doing. But Bonkers goes down. Glam is able to find that pick. So now they're going to have to play a little bit further back. They're at the player disadvantage now that Diamond AK has spawned up. And also, I don't know why I said demo for Soldier, because that was Soldier for Soldier. I am
Soldier for Soldier, probably even.
But...
Yeah, I mean, Cap flipped back over immediately for NW. They're controlling the space pretty well right now, even Uber, so we're expecting to see an exchange here. Early exchange actually comes out from the side of H2, and they're going to have to retreat really early with this. And the picks are going in favor of NW right now, and they're just collapsing further and further, getting the med as well. But on the flip side of things, medic does go down as well, so not the best thing that you could have possibly hoped for in all of this chaos. But with the time still going down in your favor, it's not the worst thing to happen if it's going to be even Ubers.
Absolutely. And I mean, obviously you would want to walk away from that, you know,
for sure,
keeping that advantage, but you've got to take, you know, what's given to you. You got to play the cards you're dealt. Unfortunately, for the side of No Wind, No Waves, that means they have to play with, you know, that even Uber. But they got a lot of time off the clock, and they're giving themselves a lot of time to, you know, prepare a second push just to try and flip the point again. And it looks like they're going to be able to get it with basically little resistance from the side of Water, and they're actually going to be pushing over Tim.
The demo damage
will go down. That is so much damage from Glam, and now they're forcing the soldier off of height. Soldier from the side of No Wind, No Waves, I believe it was Petal, jumps forward. Now a soldier bombing in onto the Knight, or onto the med. It's going to be Knight going in, but 47 finds the pick. Now that'll be player advantage for the side of No Wind, No Waves, but their health is looking very poor. They do manage to flip the point on the side of Water, and they only have a little bit of time advantage.
Meter pick
goes down. 47 finds that. That's going to be great. Uber comes out from the side of Water. There is no Uber online just yet for the side of No Wind, No Waves, and now the Uber fades for the side of Water. Point
here come the soldiers
of No Wind, No Waves. The soldiers are in. Tim goes down. Bonkers goes down as well. Not before they find Diamond AK, but Dart goes down as well. That's a 3-player loss for the side of Water, and No Wind, No Waves walks away from this with basically not even a scratch. You get so much value out of that Diamond AK dying basically means nothing.
Also some coordination from the red soldiers there as well. I believe Diamond was a little bit further back behind on the enemy team's concrete and was just able to get that initial bomb started, and then Miss Petal is able to come in. She cleans up the kill in the end of that fight, and that is just going to be such a major add to have as well. They're getting another pick on top of that as well, so more and more time ticking off the clock right now as we are down to 1 minute left for the red team as they're exchanging across the point right now. Going to get one pick extremely early, and there's going to be a lot of players right here. That's Medic dead, that's Demo dead, that's both the scouts going to probably be dead here. Tim might be living in the post of this, we'll have to see, but he actually lives so far that he gets the medic on the back end as well. That is a catastrophic failure in that Uber. Now, they do have major time add, you can't forget that, so they are winning in the long run here, but that really is going to slow down your advantage, and it allows the rest of Sequel to Water to work their way out onto Concrete right now, and they're able to find a pick in return as well. Already on the point as well, so they'll probably get this flipped over for free as the rest of NW is sort of retreating right now, just playing back in their lobby, having to recoup and recognizing that they do have Uber disad right now.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the situation right now, if you are No Wind, No Waves, you have a lot of time at. You don't have to be freaking out. You know, you had an unfortunate, you know, little blunder there in that Uber, but you can make up for it, right? You're right there with that Uber. 30% disad. You can build this out, maybe send in a 4-man from lower. Now you have, you basically have all the time in the world. You still have a minute to work with. And I mean, you can also just build out the Uber. You can try to bust out through concrete. You have plenty of options available to you because you have such great time advantage. You can basically do whatever you want, at least for the time being. Now,
this petal's going to go down.
Concrete. Petal will go down. Diamond AK will go down as well. That'll be 3 now as Bonkers finds Kahakudori as well. 3 down in that Uber is a travesty. Med is standing on top of Sticky's. Mango manages to survive, though. The Stickies do not do enough damage. Mango trying to find their way out. Tries to link up with another player, but there's going to be a scout right inside their face. It's going to be Corsair with the pick onto Mango as well. And now what looked like a great advantage for the side of No Wind, No Waves could...
Oh, but Petal!
But Petal! Oh my goodness. And onto Dark to find the sacrifice to give No Wind, No Waves a second wind. The wind is back in their sails. I guess they can drop the no wind part of their name as they look to reaggress over the point and play their heels. Now Dark is alive again, but this could be the deal breaker for the round. 10 seconds of time advantage for No Wind, No Waves. Players are very, very behind on the side of water as they are still waiting for Bonkers to spawn. They're going to have to commit to the 5v6. I don't know if Bonkers can make it to the fight in time. 2 seconds, 1 second. They haven't even gotten toward the point in any capacity. And the round is over. It's already 0-1.
I was so concerned there for a bit for the side of NW because they were really committed left side push, and that Uber did not look amazing, right? I mean, they got through, they lost a soldier early on to sort of get through the doorway, but they ended up just popping the Uber early anyways and not saving the player with it, so looked pretty catastrophic at the end, but soldier being able to get through in the post and just finding that med pick just all sort of led to them controlling the space, and they're holding down these doorways super well when they do have an advantage. Now back on the mid right now, here comes a super early bomb, and it's gonna get Mango. Just bumps straight across the point, nobody's looking at him, and is able to get fully onto it. But here comes the double soldiers!
Damage!
Oh my gosh, it is a nuke.
Talking about. That is what I'm telling you. Diamond AK and Petal, they just have the synergy. Every time one gets damaged, the other just flies in. It's a beautiful sight to behold.
And it works out amazingly for them. I mean, you get the medic pick, but what if we killed your entire team instead with the perfect time soldier bombs as well? So now they have this point to play with. It's gonna be actually close to even Ubers. So as long as NW doesn't really give up any picks right now, they are in a very, very good position. Now here comes the bomb from Miss Knight. Is gonna find a lot of damage, and that is Diamond going down on the back end there. Able to trade with back 1, and there goes another scout as well. So they're just mulching them over and over on point right now. NW, sure, they're losing picks, but they're getting lots for it as well, and still with the point in their control as well. And you have to remember, at the end of the day, that is the name of Koth, right? You're just trying to get time off of the clock. Now here comes the walk across the point. They're able to find the demo early, and the medic might be caught here, is able to scamper away into concrete, able to get out to a pack to safety, but that's going to be the point flipped over right now. So now NW has to figure out what they want to do to get out of lobby, and they're really committing to this left side, going quickly with it, and they're just doing it fast, popping the Uber immediately and exchanging immediately on concrete. Not something we generally see teams, as they're more willing to exchange on point, but taking what they can get just so they can at least progress the game state right now, and they're getting a 1-for-1 pick for it. One soldier dead means people can't really hold the door, and here comes a high bomb from Miss Petal, landing on the point right now, is going to get a lot of space for the rest of the team, and here comes Diamond, chunked super, super early, not able to get really deep up. But the rest of NW is trying to collapse, get anything that they can off of this damage, and they are getting a lot of damage, but not the kills to come with it.
Yeah, and with 47 being down here now, also Glim Glam going down. There is no demo alive for the side of No Wind, No Waves. They're going to have to back out. They did manage to flip the point for a brief moment. Spawns will get accelerated by the recapture on the side of water. I do believe they denied Bonkers as well, so we'll have to see if that comes back to bite them. I doubt it will, but being down a scout here, especially with 2 soldiers that have already proven they can be very, very very detrimental to your team if you let them get even the slightest bit of damage. Could prove fatal. Now, we do see a shove coming in through the blue house between Petal and I believe it was 47 as well.
They're losing 2 picks for it.
Fall. Yeah, that's 2 players down. No scouts alive now for the side of No Wind, No Waves. The meta's all alone.
Oh, it drops the demo.
Falls.
Oh, that's such a crucial error to drop the demo right there. When you see that Uber, your instinct just has to be to right-click early, but Miss Petal goes in for the deep. Almost circle around to get a second rocket up, but she is going to fall, so that means that now there's going to be so much time chipped off of this clock. I mean, it looked so amazing early on in this round for No Wind, No Waves, but just losing a little bit from this over-aggression right now, I think it's just not super coordinated. Before they were really going together off of their damage, and now it's sort of scattered about, and they're really paying for it right now. It's leaving Sequel to Water just the ability to pick apart these fights as they want to. As the bomb comes in, and Mango is dead again. Knight is able to get more and more, and he does it yet again. If this becomes a consistent theme, that's going to be a big thorn in the side of NW. Miss Petal going in for a salvage bomb, and Dime looking to follow as well. Is going to get a nice rocket onto the medic. Not able to find anything else, though, so they're able to bunker that. Only 2 picks down for Sequel to Water, but there were such early deaths that it doesn't really matter. They're still fully controlling the point and flipped it back in their favor.
And I believe Glim almost got caught out there, so definitely not a situation you want to find yourself in if you are No Wind, No Waves. Having Glim die there, especially when you're in a situation where you have to, either commit or send it for a 4-man. And
oh my gosh, it's a Newcomer lower!
But it is nuclear from Tim the Enchanter, and now Miss Petal going in onto the beam. There's 1 rocket, but the second does not connect. Diamond caught inside the house. They know he's right there.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness me! This is Newcomer, and I feel like I'm watching some invite gameplay with the way these guys are just.
That pipe definitely was. Wow.
I mean, goodness me, but. Now, No Wind, No Waves. Ubers are even. 20 seconds on the clock. Not a single iota of cap time as they move their way forward.
Oh, this Uber is going to be so bad.
Them, but that Uber, more like a poober. Mango goes down, so too does Glim. Bonkers will fall to the hands of 47, but that's a 2-for-1 trade right now. But Dark, Tim the Enchanter go down. It's looking positive for the side of No Wind, No Waves. Tim goes down. They might be able to salvage this. There's a lot of quick damage coming on top of the point as Dory and Miss Petal are able to salvage a cap in overtime to give their team a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and I mean, the collapse is just amazing, right? I mean, the Uber itself looks so bad. I mean, popping an Uber through the doorway before you're even on point is just always going to be rough for you, right? I mean, you're always going to be ending your Uber pretty late, and it gives the other team the opportunity to pop the Uber whatever they please, really. But the problem is that I don't know if it's overexcitement, but Sequel to Water is just playing so far forward in these post Ubers, and it just leads them to getting collapsed on over and over again. So great recognition from the soldiers on No Wind, No Waves to be able to get that done. But nobody's looking at the medic right now. Corsair Cat looking for the medic right now is going to beef a little bit, but he was just
it's a 2-for-1
one more
they lost
direct
him as well. Ooh, Bonker salvages though. Miss Knight also manages to find a pick.
90 Uber on Mango.
Oh no, this could be the end of the round for No Wind, No Waves.
Glim is trying to hold it down, gets into a kill.
Wait a minute, Glim 1 pipe down, Uber on the point.
This is going to delay.
Hard. They should get Tim here. They're going for the melee kill on the point.
But here come the other players
forward, playing on top of the point. Scout jumping into their face. It's just Glim on top of the point. The pipe connects with the demo. They get the splash. They get the 2K. It might not be enough though. There's only 2 people left alive. Oh no!
Great attempts to delay, but you know, I think it's just everybody's getting too caught up in this chaos right now, right? I mean, at the end there, we really saw the rest of NW just work their way to point, and they were only at 90% Uber, and they just get immediately Uber exchanged on or just lose a million for. It's okay to take a breath and just try to recognize your game state and the timing that you need to be on. So I would love to see them improve on that in the future. On top of that as well, just not having to force these doorways immediately is going to do so much for him. But as we do see a really early right pressure, and there's going to be an even player trade for that. Demo going down, which is actually major for point control right now. As long as we don't see too many other catastrophic deaths on the side of NW, they've pretty much already won this mid off of that pick, and they're finding more to boot.
Yeah, and having all of those picks, I mean, as soon as they found the demo, it was basically a guaranteed mid. Oh my goodness, now Tim being a super late death as well. That's 10 seconds of extra cap time that they are allowed to get just basically for free. Now, Mist peeking lower, spotting, just, you know, getting info, seeing the trap situation, you know, trying to figure out what's going on, see if they got an angle through lower maybe, but I'm going to predict they try to bust out through concrete. That's what their posturing is looking like, but
sure looks like
they
it.
Go toward lower, actually, as Combo moves away in favor of the lower.
Another early Uber.
Out. Demo bombing forward. Counter pop coming out on top of the point from the side of No Wind, No Waves. Demo chase down onto concrete. 47 going to be able to find that pick. Traded out by Mist. Now Mist finding another in the form of Kahakudori. Mist goes down. Bonkers goes down. Glim, Glam, and Petal finding those picks respectively. And now the combo forced away.
But here comes Corsair on the flank. Is going to be looking for the medic.
Bombing in for the beam. The rocket misses. They have one more chance before they crater. But the final rocket doesn't connect. Protected by Tim. Should have been an easy mop off of Mega. Mega with a sloppy on the Corsair. Not something you see every day here on Bagel. But this might cost them. 2 players down for the side of No Wind, No Waves, no scouts specifically. So,
but there goes the medic for the traps as well. Glim gets 2 with that, and that's major. Pedal bombing onto the point right now, looking for Tim. Is able to get that, but traded out immediately. But already with the med kill in their possession, is going to do so much for them. They flipped the point actually, which I'm very surprised about. It's their first cap, so they're not really going to die too many players, but it's going to give NW such shorter spawns that they're just immediately back on the point right now with people rolling. Diamond in a bit of trouble right now. Might get focused on, but this guy is able to scamper away behind the point, catch a bow from his medic, and now it is all in control of NW with full Uber at as well. So they can choose to exchange this whenever they so please, and they're looking forward and posturing for it right now. They see the medic, and they're foaming at the mouth. They're ready to go.
Dude, this could be terrible for the side of water if they are not careful. Scout gets dropped outside the Uber, but they are managed to be caught up with. That Scout is chasing deep. They want the pick on the dark so bad, and they'll find it. Corsair falls as well.
Oh, great start from Mango!
Oh my goodness, Mango, you can't do that in Newcomer Grands. Save that for Invite.
Load and lower, though. There's a Scout who does not see it. Bonkers is going to be completely oblivious. Is able to find the pick on the demo.
Bonkers is still alive. Then get out of there.
Oh, I can't believe what I am seeing. And the live also from Mango. It's even easier too, just because the Scout ran directly past the medic who was just completely alone grabbing a pack and just goes to the demo on point. Now, with all of these picks, that being said in the post, still means that the rest of Sequel to Water is able to get back on the point, but they chipped off so much time in that Uber exchange.
Yeah, now Dark down again for the side of Water. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. This should give No Wind, No Waves a pretty free pass straight onto the point. Now there is a Scout being a little bit of just a mosquito on top of the point right now, but quickly swat down by Kahakudori. That was, I believe, Corsair that was trying their best to just delay the point and give their team some time. But 3 players are down, and they had to wait for the respawn. And now there's a Scout coming in. There is a big bomb coming in from both shoulders. Miss Petal and Diamond AK going to be able to hunt the pick on the dark. Now Bonkers going down to Diamond AK as well. Tim falls to 47. There's so little that Water can do, and they are trying with all their might. But at the end of the day, it does not matter. And we will see No Wind, No Waves walk away with a second round in the bag. It's 2-1 in their favor. And I think they want to wrap this one up quick.
They're playing like it, right? I mean, just the full gas right now. Everything just going into the aggression. You can really see it in their Ubers and just how they're trying to play right now. These early mids have also just been a lot of shoves and stuff like that. So trying to bring the aggression, I respect it heavily. I think that aggression in TF2 is probably the best defense in the world too, because if you're just winning these fights, what is the enemy team going to even do back to retaliate? But a little bit of a slower mid actually that we're seeing right now. So
you know, sometimes, you know, the slower mids is good. You got to change up the pace, but it'll be a trade. Now, this is looking very detrimental for the side of No Wind, No Waves. If they're not going to be able to find a good pick. As soon as I say that, Petal to
she gets
the
it
metal.
Done.
Oh, my goodness. In onto Dark to find the med.
Mango might be in trouble. Ooh,
nah,
surf's way to spawn.
Lives. Mango's a liver right here.
Yeah, Mango's really got the surfs down. That's one thing I'm definitely picking up on right now. I've seen it like at least 4 different times so far already, so able to get out and preserve that Uber ad. Now they are going to lose the early point, but they capped so early on that it's pretty much even time right now. And then with full Uber ad, it's kind of your world to decide what you want to do with it. They can just choose to walk through this doorway for free without having to pop immediately. They're going to be walking through main, just looking for anything right now. I'm expecting the Uber to come out, but the medic drops a little bit too long of a milk.
Hit right click. You have to hit right click there. You got too greedy and you got punished for it, and now your team suffers as well. This might as well be a team wipe with how low everybody is. The lack of good positioning that you can find. Petal finds one onto Tim, the Enchanter, but 47 and Petal immediately traded out there. And I mean, like I said, when they dropped, you have to use there.
You know, I was complaining about how they were just constantly taking these Ubers through a doorway without really trying to get through at all, but I really didn't mean that. I didn't mean walking across the point and just not pressing right click, right? But it happens. We've all, if you've ever had to play a medic pug and just some sort of pug server where you're not really used to it, these things happen, and it happens quicker than you expect it, so it really just takes a lot of premonition and just preparedness on the medic side. But back behind, Kahar Dorky is not going to find anything, just immediately swatted down. That's another late pick that's going to trip off even more time and slow down NWNW from really getting it done right now. We already see Miss Petal just busting through lower, but completely alone right now. The rest of the team is not even ready to get in entirely, so backing out a second, but the rest of the team finally here now through lower. They have a lot of space to work with right now, and they see all of the players in front of them, so they know that they're good to start walking up, and they make their way towards the point right now. Now Bonkers is going to be on the med.
They managed to get that Uber out. They'll find the pick onto Bonkers, but now they have to get forward. They have to find themselves onto Dark, and they will, but it's going to be too little too late. That Uber's going to come out. This could... Well, actually, they spend most of their Uber turning around, and they lose Corsair in it, and now they're caught out on concrete. There's way too much damage for them to take care of, and now Petal falling, but it does not matter. It's 47 trades it out instantaneously by finding Mist and Dark. Diamond AK bombs in to get some damage in the doorway, but immediately smote down by Tim and the Enchanter.
A little overzealous in that post, but you know what? I love the effort.
I mean,
oh, not dead! Oh my gosh, Game Glam. How are we not checking that trap, guys? Come on now. Able to get 2 picks off of that, and that is going to chip off so much more time, as it's probably just either going to be rat plays or just a full send here. They're going to send both soldiers onto the combo right now, get good damage on the scout and the demo, but not able to find anything back, and both those players are going to go down immediately. So again, back to no win, no waves. Controlling the point, and Corsair Cat picked off as well. Nobody really going to go down for that except 47. It does go down post, so he's going to be down for a lot longer than the scout that they traded out, right? Just the way that Koth works here, but still all in the court of NWNW, and they are just holding it down, just pressure in right lane.
Yeah, there we go. They found the pick onto Mist. They were on top of the point, just super aggressive with none of their team behind them. And look at the health of the players on concrete right now. I mean, this is abysmal. It does get healed up pretty quickly, and they do have that Uber now. Timo will go down, Bonkers will go down, or Glim Glam will find a pick on a Bonkers. Both Ubers are going to come out over top of the point, and now no win, no waves on with the chase as their Uber is significantly better. They are still Ubered, and they still haven't found anything with it. Mango all on their lonesome, left to their own devices by 47 as they try to find picks. They'll find 2, they'll find Dark, and they'll also find Bonkers.
He's got 2 on the point.
They put a soldier there earlier on. Soldier there as well. 47 will fall. It's just a soldier going towards wood to find the packs. 30 seconds on the clock for no win, no waves. They've got good time, Ad. I would just peel back and play around it and let your players regroup.
Yeah, and they're going to get all their spawners sort of collecting themselves now on the side of no win. They're working their way up to point right now, but they have a lot of space to make here, and with losing a pick to the traps there, it's going to make it even harder to really hold this down. They're getting a lot of the point pressure, and finally denied from the side of the combo on Sequel to Water, but now it's just looking dire and dire for no win. They didn't really have any space to work with, and they're just getting picked apart slowly, losing 4 players now. That's most of the combat dead. Just Miss Petal respawning right now. Is able to get Mango out with the distraction, but it's just dire, you know? You really have to be working for a coordinated effort if you're going to take any space on Bagel, right? Otherwise, there's just so much ground that you have to worry about, so many traps that you have to walk over and clear.
Absolutely.
And Sequel to Water is just able to capitalize off of it. They're just forcing them out and now just stuffing them in the lower.
No.
Diamond's going to go down early, and the medic drops
falls.
again. That is a tragic drop. The last glimmer of hope is going to go down. Now it's just Glim standing on point. Almost gets spooned entirely, but that should be the round. There's not going to be any time for the spawners to get to point here, so we'll go up to 2-2 now on Bagel.
You know, came into this, I was talking to Long Gripper and Piika. You know, I was saying, man, I'm really tired. I'm not really feeling it tonight. I think I'm feeling it now. I think I'm not so tired anymore. Which, I mean, I kind of knew that would happen, but, I mean, what can I say?
Hey, nothing's more hype than Bagel. It's my favorite for a reason to cast.
Newcomer Bagel.
Oh, yeah.
That newcomer aspect of it just makes it so much better. You watch invite games, you already know what's going to happen. Everybody has that down to a science. But this newcomer stuff, man, we get to see this scout walk across the point to try and find a pick. Bonkers goes down. That's a trade out, though, as Timo finds the pick on
so low.
Miss Petal. Goodness gracious me. Glim and Mango are both extremely weak, and now they force Mango to peel back. Glim's still low, but with the amount of picks that No Win No Waves found in that early portion of the game, they were able to just kind of walk away with the point and some space. Now, Ubers are even for both teams, and it does look like we're going to be seeing the sequel to Water pushing out of Concrete here. A little bit of the not great positioning, all things well, and now it's really not great.
Yeah, but they're really slow in the concrete area. I mean, they're just like hugging this back corner instead of just trying to take the space on point, and they're really paying for it. Just getting picked apart by the players just standing in the houses right now, and in lower as well. It's just not going great. It seems like Diamond is just holding down this space amazingly and not letting anything happen on the other map, so it just gives so much work for the flank of NWNW to just get so much done. Here comes the Uber exchange. It's going to be a lot better of an Uber for NW. They're going to have to flash a lot in this post. And if the collapse is here, it's going to be massive. Uber does end now, and Mango is going to be... But Miss Petal is able to get through it, gets two amazing rockets off, able to pick off the medic. So a little bit of chaos in that post fight, but you know what? If you can get your soldiers through onto it and get the medic dead, and you have the point in your control, you're still winning at the end of the day, right? Like, time is getting chipped off of the clock. So you're coming out positive at the end of the day. So might still be chaotic, might not be the most quote-unquote optimal play in the world, but hey, you're still coming out on top with already a minute and 30 down on this time clock. So round's still kind of in your favor as long as you're able to get out this point safely and die to something crazy or have some sort of wild drop, which that's yet to be proven if that's going to be all the time here, but let's hope.
Usually, Mango's been pretty good with it in the games that we've seen them. I think the games we've seen them cover, they haven't dropped at all. Now Miss Petal finds a kill, trying to rocket jump away to find a health. They'll get a lot of good damage onto Concrete. 47 mops up the damage from, I believe that's Diamond AK. They fall, but it is entirely worth it as 47 just continues, or 47 continued rather, to just decimate on Concrete and get a lot of damage. Petal found themselves a pick onto Tim the Enchanter, so that forces the demo onto a late spawn. That will give No Win No Waves a lot of time off of the clock, and now as they try to push their way forward, they are slow from the concrete area yet again. But wait a minute, Mango goes down. Miss Petal is there to fall as well. Corsair finds that pick, and I believe Bonkers found the pick onto Mango. 3 down on the side of No Win No Waves. Should have been a surefire win for them, at least in that fight right there, but a 99% drop doesn't necessarily seal their fate, but definitely pushes them around a little bit more than I think they'd like.
Miss Petal going in for a salvage, but it's going to be a little bit too late. It's actually going to get cleaned up from a bow as well, so not exactly what you're hoping here, but you gotta try something at the end. So they're holding on to full Uber ad. Now you have to look at the time though. In all of this chaos, even though it looked a little bit tragic there, there's still so much time that they have to play with. So round is not over, and they're already built all the way up to 80%. So we'll have to see what the Uber is here. It looks like they're going to be pressuring sort of towards this lower area. Glim is actually able to get the drop on the foreman as well. So anything else here, Bravey on this foreman, and only going to lose 2 in it too. So they'll be able to get a reaggress immediately afterwards.
This could be the window of opportunity that No Win, No Waves is looking for. It doesn't get any better than a drop on the 4-man. That was basically a 1-man. All they needed was Glimglam to be going in right there. And now Corsair falls. 47 finds that back, traded out by Mist, but there's a lot of point control. Very good and aggressive point control. Dark takes a lot of damage and is continuing to take damage, chipping down from across the map. Tim, very weak. Mist weak. Bonkers weak. Everybody's weak. Mist goes in, finds the pick on a diamond. Will get traded out, though. Takes themselves out. And now Corsair going down Glimglam, able to find the stickies that connect. Now the Uber taken across the point over concrete. They're chasing. Demo juggles the scout back into the doorway. Kahaku not able to chase as deep as they would like. 10 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for players from water to get in. Their Uber will be online soon, but never mind. As soon as I say that, Dark goes down. Now Tim the Enchanter goes down. Now Mist goes down. It's 3 down for the side of water. Soon to be 4. 47 falls, but it doesn't matter as Corsair and Bonkers, the final hope for the side of water in this round, fall 3-2 for No Wind, No Waves. It is now match point.
And a well-earned one at that as well. I mean, just really winning in the chaos. That's kind of what I can really describe this match as. It's just been full-on chaos, non-stop fighting in either one of these houses. These Uber exchanges are just wild in the post as well. Both teams not really going for the safe Ubers, just really going in deep and just trying to get as much value as possible out of it. And it's just working out ever so slightly for NW in these posts. Glim going down, though. This is the first time we've seen the demo on the side of NW die early, so we'll have to see what goes on off of this. You can still see 47 and just sort of pressuring the point right now. Is not able to find a lot, but here comes Miss Petal in behind. It's one rocket, is not able to get the second one off. She's gonna go down, and so is Diamond as well. He's gonna fall super late, so that's gonna call for the retreat for the rest of NW. They're backing out into their upper left and not really going out too far, which is a bit scary. Normally you would see medics posture a lot further back when you lose them like that, just from the threat of a bomb. But oh my gosh, that is such an important pick as well. It's going to chip off so much time now for the sequel to water.
I feel like if you... Oh my goodness, Mango! Oh my goodness, you can't peek out there. You cannot do that. That's going to be a drop collected. I think that's like the 4th one of the game, basically. Yep. Collected by Mist. Not only do they find a great value scout pick early on, Mango too aggressive, trying to catch up with their teammates, just too much, getting a little too big for their britches. They will fall. Now Mist finds a 3rd in the form of Diamond AK. They're trying to salvage on the side. Wait, they might be able to! The force comes out, as I believe this is Kahaku getting in from concrete to find the force, and now Mango 70% Uber, but similar to the situation we saw earlier, they're winning at the end of the day with all of this time add, even if they lose the point. Now, I don't like how aggressive they're playing on the side of water with the looming Uber threat coming their way, and I think we're going to see another concrete pressure. They do back out on the side of water. This does mean that No Win, No Waves will be able to take a lot more space with this, or without using this Uber, but I think that is what Water is banking on. 30% disad here. Very manageable, and still time ticking down in their favor. 2 minutes of advantage. Point finally flips and starts ticking for No Wind, No Waves. Corsair pushing in through the blue house. Could get taken down here, but not enough damage comes their way. It's actually going to be Diamond falling, but traded out by Kahaku in the red house. Now, players posturing over the point. Very aggressive. Point immediately flips back in favor of the sequel to Water, and a lot of great damage coming their way from the side of Tim the Enchanter. They pressure over the point again from No Wind, No Waves. The exchange coming out from both teams over the point. Now, No Wind, No Waves turning around, trying to kill what is caught. The way you should be taking this, it's an exchange over the point just for the purpose of getting the Ubers out of the equation. Now a massive bomb coming in from Timo, not even going to be able to find anything. Dark goes down, Miss Petal goes down. And I think that should spell the end of this extremely long exchange of
but
damage.
Tim gets another. Corsair is going to look for more. Is going to getting cleaned up in the post of it, and here comes the bomb as well. Probably going to find Diamond with just a bit of the fall damage right there. It's actually able to trade it out, so good value from Diamond is going to mean it's a little bit easier to push out through these doorways. But yeah, trade after trade after trade, and solo fight after solo fight is kind of the name of the game right now, especially this round. So, with that soldier dead though, that means that there's one less explosive just holding down these doorways. So that's going to be NWNW flooding out through their concrete. They're walking up to the point right now. They have the heals. It's going to be completely even Ubers right now. Now, the thing you have to worry about right now is it's a lot of pressure on you to really get this point cap down. Going to be a soldier bombing in super deep. It's going to be Diamond looking for anything. And now Diamond and Miss Petal sort of synced up in this right house, just going for the spam. They're able to find Timma. Miss Knight as well going down, but Diamond traded back. Mango catches a big pipe, but the collapse off of this damage in the right house is just absolutely nuclear, and they're just able to get so much out of it.
I mean, that is just very well played from the side of No Wind, No Waves. They saw a lot of damage. They did what they are known to do, and they immediately collapsed on that damage. They saw out-of-position players. They sprinted in. They found those picks. They got away. Glim Glam with the nice Tom Brady Hail Mary across the field, straight into the loving embrace of the entirety of the enemy team. And now, even Ubers, as we get into what could potentially be the final fight of the round to make it double match point. Now 1 minute 15 on the clock. Even Ubers, like I said, Scout very weak on top of the point here as we try to get the health evened out.
Oh, Diamond.
Diamond very weak, taken out by Miss, but they're going to be able to find the Uber from the side of Dark. Now the counter comes out from the side of No Wind, No Waves. They chase on Concrete. They're looking for anything and everything right now. 47 finds Bonkers. Timo goes down to Kohaku as now they play a little bit further back on the side of No Wind, No Waves. They are now trying to just bait players in. I believe this is Miss.
But 47 is holding it down. 47 just went nuclear.
Business.
He just completely holds it down. Just 1v1s the demo, runs forward, gets it. He's getting a third as well off of it as well.
Oh my goodness.
It's just absolutely demolishing in that post right now. Just off of that damage on the right. Just able to run through fine 3. And now with 20 seconds remaining and 50 Uber ad, they're probably going to be able to get this Uber before. It goes super late into overtime if MWMW is this right.
Oh my goodness.
Out early is going to be
nuclear.
Oh my gosh, it is a nuke. It is a nuke.
There's so much damage on Concrete. There's 8 seconds left. There's one player behind. It's Mango, who will get taken down by Bonkers who finds another pick. They'll get taken down by Kohaku. The last hope for the side of water on Bagel is missed, and they are too low to make anything happen. The first map in 4-2 fashion goes in favor of No Wind, No Waves.
And they do it with style as well. I mean, just the amount of fat bombs and collapses off of the damage just really set the entire pace for that game. I really just want to point out that the forward aggression from them and just the ability to recognize like that they're getting so much value off of just holding right. They're constantly abusing that fact, and they did that the entire map. Worked out so well for them. Now, they did have a bit of times where they're faltering, right? I think that some of the Ubers that they were taking were not the most ideal, either popping super early. Obviously, the 4 drops, right? Like, we can't forget about that. That's something that happened, right? But still, even though they were taking these Ubers really single scout, not finding a lot on the front end, the rest of the team was able to find all the players just floating through the flanks, taking their ones, winning their ones as well. And they got so much value for it, and I think that really led to them just getting 2 of their rounds at the very least. So, very dominant Bagel. I'm expecting to see very, very high damage numbers in these logs.
Oh, yeah. And before we go ahead and get to those logs, I do just want to take a second and say that Fireside Cast does have Fourthwall memberships. You can get a link to those by typing either !memberships, or actually I think it's !subscribe, not memberships, !subscribe, or if you're feeling silly, you can use !OnlyFans. Personally, I like using that command a little bit more. You do get some secret content. You get early video access, some behind-the-scenes stuff, uncut content from us, production guides. You know, if those things tickle your fancy, take a little look. You can give, I think the lowest you can give is actually $1 or maybe $3. I forget what the prices of the memberships are off the dome. But also, if memberships are not your style, we have drip, embroidered drip mind you. It is high quality.
It's clean.
I have the alt logo Fireside hoodie because I mess with the blue fire pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little patch that my grandma taught me how to sew into the arm. Oh my goodness, the material is great. It's comfy. It's got worldwide shipping, and all the proceeds go towards helping Fireside set up future events and getting put towards projects that we're working on. You can just buy good clothes, look good in them. It'll be great. But
I think I've had my hat for like a year, and I get daily rotation out of that thing. I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, if you really do want to get some merch that's like actually pretty stylish, not like super, oh, this person just only plays video games online. Like, no, like it's actually pretty stylish. I wear mine at work, and it's gone through many factories and still holds up amazingly. The embroidery is just super top quality. And come on now, right? Like that Denver LAN, that was sick. We want to see more events like that. So support Fireside however you can. Twitch Primes also help as well. So thanks again to everybody who does support us. But yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to be going to the next map here in a second.
Well, actually, I think we're going to hand it to you for a second to get logs, and I need to get water. So I'm going to sprint and get water while you go over the logs. And
gladly.
Then we can go to the next map.
Oh, yeah, and looking at these logs immediately, it's kind of what I just immediately expected. Just lots of numbers over 300 from both teams right now. Nobody breaking the 400 barrier, but it's kind of really hard to focus on anybody in particular here because I'm just seeing, man, I think over 5 players with 300 DPM. So everybody is just constantly fighting in this lobby, right? But that chaos really just leads to people just taking one-on-ones constantly. And in chaos, it really just comes down to the individual DM level of the players, right? I mean, logs don't tell the full story of the one-on-ones and stuff like that. But still, if I wanted to hyper-focus on anything here, I really just want to highlight the soldiers, right? I mean, Miss Petal and Diamond are just getting so much value, both dropping pretty good DPMs overall, and KDAs, even for a roamer as well, sort of going even as well. 47 as well, just cleaning up so much in the post. I don't really know if there's too much else to highlight here other than the fact that NWNW was able to really push through after having 4 drops and just keep the gas pedal going, right? They weren't really getting caught in too much. Able to get through these doorways pretty quickly, even if they did have to pop Ubers to do so. But I love the proactive play. I think that's one thing that a lot of newcomer teams struggle with is just either floundering or not having the initiative to really decide what they want to do and then just letting so much time go off of the clock when it comes to Koth. So big kudos to NWNW for figuring that out and just being super proactive as a team.
And I have to agree with the idea that a lot of newcomer teams are a little timid, it feels like. And you know what? I can't blame them for being timid because, they're still learning the ropes. They're figuring out positioning and maps and timings and all that. But these teams, man, they do not have the timings or the positionings of newcomer teams. This is stuff you would see from people that have got it a little bit more figured out than you would imagine a newcomer team would. I mean, obviously they would. They're playoffs. They're in the grand finals. But even more so than that, they're playing like they don't belong in newcomer, right? These guys, it looks like they've played the game plenty before. They've got the great ideas of positioning. They've got great timings, especially the soldiers on no win, no waves. And like you said, they usually bleed a lot of time when they're trying to figure out what they want to do. These guys get it figured out pretty quick. They have a general idea. Now, sometimes they go a little too fast. Sometimes they maybe go on off timings and, maybe they should be waiting for one another a little bit longer. But I mean, that just happens no matter what division you're in, right? That happens everywhere. And with how little it has happened down here in Newcomer throughout the entirety of the playoffs, honestly, for every game that I have seen in Newcomer this season, how little I have seen it happen, honestly, it's very surprising. And it's a good kind of surprising.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just like the cohesion in general, right? Already looks like both of these teams are pretty much AM ready. I mean, obviously, because they're probably top of the division, it makes sense. But just the way that they're playing as well, you can tell these guys have drilled a lot of stuff and worked out a lot of the kinks in their own game plans. So, yeah, pretty excited to see. But we are going to be heading over to Reckoner, which is honestly pretty surprising to me. I don't feel like we see Reckoner really picked early on in these longer series by either team, but it got through the bans, so we're going to be going to Reckoner for this. And one thing I'm expecting from this is just super fast-paced mids from both of these teams, right? We saw right now already on Bagel just how fast these teams like to play, just either initiating their own aggression. I'm expecting a lot of double bombs, a lot of people just running stuff down. But this is the pick from I believe it's. I don't think it's NW's.
This is a no win, no waves pick.
It is.
So Sequel to Water lost on their map pick of Bagel.
Yeesh. And going to another aggressive map as well. I mean, just for the mids at least, right? I mean, obviously last is a bit different. But I'm surprised that they're going for 2 aggressive maps on both sides. It just means that both of these teams really have a lot of confidence in their own DM skills.
Right. And also, I just want this to be put out there. I am going to double check this really quick. I am going to go look over the semifinals picks and stuff like that. But if I am not... Okay, no, never mind. So what I had thought had happened was in the semifinals, Granary was the first map played in the best of 3. I thought No Win, No Waves had picked it. They did not. Aaron picked that in the semifinals. But No Win, No Waves also just steamrolled through it. So it might as well have been their map pick. I mean, they seem pretty confident on any map they go into. And I think, Reckoner and Snakewater, these mids and parts of the second and last, they both share a lot of things in common. And obviously you can't translate everything 1-to-1, but a lot of things kind of work in a similar vein. And I think No Win, No Waves, they have demonstrated that they definitely have higher confidence in their plays, and they're just a little bit quicker than Water is. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. This is the No Win, No Waves map pick, so I would assume if you're picking Reckoner in your playoffs, grand finals matchup, you feel pretty confident on it.
Yeah, and generally a lot of newcomer teams will stray away from maps like these just because it's not something that you're typically going to be playing like in your pugs and stuff like that. So probably just shows that they really did drill this map, or at least got a lot of coaching on. I'm just going to, at the very least. But I'm very curious to see what both these teams' takes are on this map, because especially for newcomer players, you're really kind of just going off of conjecture and just sort of what you're picking up as you practice it, right? It's not like Process where you have a million different that you can just base your entire game plan around. You're sort of just deciding it for yourself, figuring out as you practice. So I think we'll see a lot of interesting takes on either the mids or just pushes through doorways as well.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing a lot of teams struggle with on Reckoner as we are getting ready to go live, one of the biggest things teams struggle with is how open the map is, how many flank routes there are, how many possibilities there are for things to completely turn upside down for you. You have to be on top of things. You got to have your head on a swivel, and you have to be mindful of any possible play that could happen at any possible moment. Reckoner's a map that really tests your ability to keep track of multiple things at once. Now, going into this, looks like it'll be, I believe this is Diamond bombing forward to get some decent damage, but nobody's really able to mop that up. That's a Hail Mary from across the map. Tim the Enchanter finding the pick onto 47 with, I believe it was Bonkers finding the pick onto Diamond AK early on in that mid. And after losing 2, No Win, No Waves, they are out on their second. Now the aggression from the sequel to Water as they get a lot of great damage and potentially even section off Glim Glam, but by the skin of their teeth, they managed to live.
And now they're able to get out to last, right? Not really able to hold down second. They just flooded through crates immediately, which is great forward aggression for the side of Sequel to Water. But they're already poking through to the last. Now, we are down a scout pick right now, so this might give a little bit more space and leeway to poke your way in. It's going to be Corsair Cat working through main. They're going to get the sentry to... So anytime now, here's the bomb. It's going to be Knight busting through left side right now, is able to get a bit of damage, but not able to find anything too much. But here comes the Uber. They are down 1 in this Uber as well, so still holding onto it. It's going to be Mango. And that Uber... way better. They're going to find no picks with this Uber. Out of more of just doing it out of panic. Now Diamond does go down on the post, just being a little bit overzealous. So, yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of a chaotic one. Not what you usually expect to see. Pedal poking right now, going to be a little bit scary if you want to commit right now. You don't really want to be down 2 players while you're on last hold. So she's able to get out. Play this as an even scenario.
I think I feel like if you want to get, you know, picks in that Uber, you've got to be willing to pop it a little bit earlier and take a little bit of a handshake on the point, maybe body block a little bit, you know, stand in front of the other shiny players while you're shiny, right? You got to be more willing to take the risk there, because they were already basically sprinting out of last on the side of water when No Waves decided they wanted to take their counter, and it was just way too late for them to find anything. I mean, they maybe had a chance with, there was a soldier up on like the balcony area that could have been caught out, but they jumped away super fast. And
here comes Knight.
Diamond there.
Oh, super deep bomb.
Goodness. Wait a minute, this oh my goodness, him the Enchanter from the top turnbuckle with the Iron Bomber to find the drop on the Mango. And now the Uber coming out from the side of the Sequel to Water. They are on top of the point. It is half cap. There's a lot of good damage coming out. All they have to do is take this scout out, but they don't even have to kill the scout. They just walk on top of the point, and the sheer presence alone is enough to win the round. And on a map that they did not pick, they have taken the first round.
And Misty Knight had a bomb that, honestly, it was an impressive bomb, but super low HP. He's only able to get 1 rocket off, but 2 max range Iron Bomber pipes just fly out and explode in the air right on the medic's head. Leads to the drop. It is just, you can't make that stuff up. That is only the things that happen in-game that you're not really conceptualize beforehand. Now here comes the double bomb. It's going to be pedal fading early and Diamond committing. There's going to be a really good damage. They're able to get bonkers off of it. Able to two. Still a lot of space to work with here, and they're trying to take space on the point, but still down 1 player on the side of NWNW means that they have to play a little bit further back as the heals do come out for the side of Sequel to Water. Here comes the bomb right now. It's going to be Mango caught in a little bit place, is going to get caught by the pipe from Tim the Enchanter, and the rest of the players just slowly falling. It's just going to be Gullywash limping away. The rest of the players just tuck their tail and try to get out to second. Now still full ad. They're able to hold through from those early bombs on the side of Sequel to Water, and they're already working their way onto second right now. Both of these maps, we're seeing the opposite team that that didn't pick them just have their foot on the gas. And right now, Sequel to Water are looking strong right now. They are established themselves on second. They'll have a lot of ad to work with.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is looking pretty dire for No Win No Waves right now. This is their map pick, and it's only been about, I think, 5-ish minutes. My timer in game is totally bunsed right now. I mean, it is just broken beyond belief. I got % server time as my match timer right now, so don't know what's going on with that. But full Uber ad going into this, it's actually dwindling a little bit. We might be able to see the Uber come out from the side of No Win No Waves if they play around this well enough. It does look like Diamond will go down, but Bonkers goes down as well. It's a trade. Uber almost there, 90% for the side of No Win No Waves, slowly building toward it. Not a lot of cap time from the side of Water. They actually dropped 2 in that as well, so there are no hopes to convert this into a round. Could potentially drop another in the form of Timot, but doesn't look like that is going to happen.
No,
so,
you know, it is full Uber ad. This is a little bit of a hard to push out of. Right, maybe not as bad as Snakewater per se, but there's still a lot of stuff to clear. There's going to be a trade going on the bats area. Here comes the scout walking forward. They spot the medic, and here comes the Uber. They're going to be chasing Dark all the way into Toxin. Is able to get that pick, but Mango, walking a bit too far forward right now, is able to scamper away. But there's 2 players behind right now. Tim and Miss Pedal are both taking a fight, and leaves both of them on 1 HP, and Bonker's still behind as well. Here comes the collapse on the point right now. Mango is able to get the head kill, so keeping the medic alive, but there's no more presence on second. Corsair Cat getting overzealous right, top right is not going to be cleaned up. Actually, surprisingly enough. Mango's super low, has to limp away right now. But Mango still lives. Gonna finally fall tonight. Gonna finally fall tonight, but man, did they really have to work for that medic pick, and Tim gonna go down as well. So they lose 3 for it, but...
Walkers is going back in for the point. Try.
Oh.
I mean, you can only delay the inevitable for so long there, Mango. I mean...
Yeah,
I mean, commend the effort to stay alive.
Regardless,
really
though, even though it does go down in the end, just buys so much time that they're able to get 3 picks out of it as well. And Dark did have to use the Uber super early on inside that chaos. So because of Mango just getting that melee kill and pressuring out further the rest of the team, able to poke their way onto second right now, but they do recognize that it's a disad. I'm really hoping, at the very least, so they're going to back up to last right now. No all classes really to speak of other than a heavy, so not necessarily the strongest last hold here if you know you're at disad, but it does give them a little bit of time to figure out what they want to do. They're getting traps on point, they're getting players in the doorways. Sniper coming out on left, though. It's going to be 47 just going for an early peek, is not able to find what he wants. Gonna have to go back to spawn and switch to a different off class. Gonna go back on the heavy.
You're gonna have to keep this one going because my game absolutely just exploded.
I mean, it's actually evened out now. Blue lost 21 seconds of ad in all of this as well. I don't think that they fully recognize how much ad they really had in the end of this. And with 60 seconds remaining on the round timer as well, they have to figure out something. This is usually the time where you're sort of talking to your team about, hey, maybe we're just doing it. Don't really have time to go for any sort of sack plays and have players come back for a Uber in the post. And now I see Tim and Corsair just standing at top right, nodding at each. They have plan. We'll have to see what they want to do, but it's slowing down here in 30 seconds remaining. So I'm expecting to see the Uber exchange any second here.
I am almost back in the game. I'm still stuck on the main menu. Loading.
Here comes the players flooding in right now. It's going to be Knight and Timid dead, so this is going to be really difficult, even if you are this exchange. I'm expecting to see either a push out or just a round reset. NWNW isn't really looking too far forward right now. I think they're just content to just go back to mid.
And I'm almost in the Steve, sending client info right now. I'm almost
5
there.
seconds remaining, and here comes some people walking. The Uber's going to be super late. They pop the Uber now, but it's air blasted off a point, so there's going to be no point pressure. And we are going back to mid. Still 1-0 right now for Sequel to Water, so they are in the driver's seat in terms of points right now. But we'll have to see what this mid holds. Just in general, though, they are doing so much better on these mids, just being the counter, like just winning the counter aggression every single time. Now, it might be time for NWNW to sort of think mixing it up, right? You've tried these soldier bombs, you've done one straight commit, you've done one fade and a commit. Maybe it's time for you to be the one counter-aggressing and just taking space on the point. We'll have to see what they want to do here. It's going to be actually another double bomb right now. This pedal is going to go in.
Big bomb right there. That's a lot of damage.
They don't get anything off of it, and they're going to lose so many picks.
Wait a minute. Dark could go down here. They barely managed to escape.
Barely don't. So it's going to be everybody else again running away. And just like before, no wind, no waves. They take the aggression early on, but they're just not getting what they need. They're fully expecting it on the side of Sequel. They're just playing it properly, just bunkering your medic, shooting the soldier that's bombing your medic, and then just bullying the people out that are walking across point. And they're barely losing any picks for it on the other side of it. So pushing through to second, and NWNW is all huddled up by bats right now. They're not really going to go for anything. The bomb from Miss Pedal is going to go, is able to hit the force. So this is major right now. As long as picks, this is fine. They do have to pop out the Uber from NW. You'll probably find Tim in this. Soldier behind onto Glim Glam is going to get one. And Dark is alone and toxic, just walking forward completely. He's 47 onto him completely. I don't know why Dark just didn't fully tuck and leave, but only player remaining is going to be the scout on second. I mean, we just have a pause, but I think I've seen this one before. I think I've been the soldier here before. I know what's going to happen here.
I think I know what's going to happen for Pedal and Corsair. I think they're going to hit a great air shot, and they're going to insta-gib. And maybe they spike Corsair into the floor. Maybe
oh, headshot rocket, right? Okay, yeah,
right,
I like it. I like it. I like
the optimistic side. Maybe they get it like just right on top of.
See, this is what I think when I play soldier. What's going through my head of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna hit the headshot rocket, and then I just end up going like double negative. So
you have the. I mean, you're better than me. You think you can actually hit the rockets. I think I'm gonna whiff and hit absolutely piss all.
We're just saying that I'm delusional. That's all. That's all.
I'm realistic with my expectations for myself. You're like,
oh, this is a 6 scene though.
This is like an SFM poster. Right
yeah,
here.
actually, you know how they have those things that pop up on RGL before the matches?
Yeah.
Shots. Like, get this
like
shit out there. This is
like a
sun in the backgrounds. This is like following the rule of thirds and everything. It's crazy.
Why is there a medic on the screen? What? Whoa.
Yeah, no, I'm genuinely curious what the pause is coming from. Just my assumption as well is just Nobody's kind of probably wants to take their time and just adjust what they're doing on the mids if there isn't an attack or anything like that. So we will generally have to see what the result of this pause was, but I think one thing that we really have to highlight here is that it feels like No Wind No Waves that came into this map expecting their game plan to really work out, and no real the plan isn't really coming into fruition whatsoever. They're sort of just thank you, Sia.
Thank you, Saya.
But I think it's time for a readjustment. Like I said before, being the ones counter-aggressing is not necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot of places where you can actually bunker your meta on this map. You're not playing on clear cut here, right? Where your meta is sort of just in jail permanently. I would love to see them sort of adjust and just take a different approach to these mids.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Before my game decided it wanted to not game anymore.
Not game, yeah.
To crash and send me to desktop hell. But I was saying that their mids are not working, very obviously, right? Like they've been put into this position twice now, or 3 times now because of the round reset that we saw, right? Very obviously, what they are trying to do on these mids, where they go for the bombs and they try to get as much damage as possible and then have a follow-up, isn't working. But you have so many other options for the mid. Play back, let them come to you. Maybe you go for a flank shove up by the crate. You go up the ramp. Maybe you go under if you're feeling real freaky with how you want to play your mids. You have plenty of options here. You
Definitely.
Can do a fade bomb. You have so many options. Waddle across the point with the fade. I mean, you can incorporate so many strategies from so many maps. You can incorporate Gullywash strategies, snake water strategies. You can do a little mix and mash with them both as well. You don't have to stick strictly to one map, transposing it to here, or sticking with, the perfect meta or whatever. Mix it up, because clearly what we're doing right now, it's not giving us anything when we show up to the mids, and it's actively hurting us. We can't find value in the...
Oh, and Misspell doesn't win. It doesn't get the headshot rocket. Now there is is going to be Corsair Cat going down. So, a little bit of Uber had to preserve now that Dark is just spawning completely alone. So they're going to try to poke their way through Toxic right now. Here comes both of the scouts just working together to try to chip down these players. Bonkers is actually trying to win the fight right now. Is going to get collapsed by the rest of the players. So now looks pretty confident right now for NWNW. Nice rocket on tonight. Is getting to clean himself up, actually. Just shooting the ground right afterwards. Not going for the damage. But now, complete opposite in terms of pacing from what we've seen. They've got the mid under their control, and now it's their turn to figure out what they want to do, working their way into second. And with Uber to boot.
My question is where this pause comes into effect, because obviously it's a minute 30 in the future. Does this come from a reversal right here? Now,
it's not looking like it. They're smashing on the point right now.
Yeah, we see Timo go down now, also Bonkers and Corsair, but I think what more I mean is a reversal in the sense that No Wind No Waves was pretty much on their last just a few moments ago, and now they're on Water's last. They're looking to push in, and I believe they have about 50% Uber. My HUD is broken. Now the soldier in behind trying to get a lot of good damage, and they will be successful. Going to be able to soften up Kohaku for the player, or for the heavy, but they don't have any bodies on the point, and that's just a textbook way of playing around the classes that are currently up. They don't have anybody, actively defending the point. The only person they really have is a heavy. You body block with your shiny players. You let your vulnerable ones take cap time off the point, and you just convert the round.
Here's actually a funny thing about that pause as well. It was actually the winning team that paused. It was 47 that initiated the pause as well. So doing it after a run was crazy, but I imagine they're just these mids right now. Here comes another early bomb, but here comes the double as well. They're going to be bunkering Dark into crates right now. It's going to be super low.
How does Mango keep falling to these absolute dimes? I mean, is this like, is this Julian saying it out here? Like, what am I seeing You know, like, I don't know what I'm looking at. We've got an all-star quarterback just on the sequel to water, just throwing dimes across the map straight to Mango, who's more than willing to catch him, I suppose, because I think that is almost every mid we've seen, I think. Or it actually might just be every mid. I think Mango has died in some way.
No, Mango's been getting out. Mango's been getting out pretty well. Mango has been dying in some pretty weird positions later on in the rounds, but this is the first time I think we've seen actually Mango just die super early on in the mid. Usually Mango's just able to get out after aggression. They're just kind of doing the aggression early and then just tucking their tail and leaving. So now it's going to be a little bit of a second hold. It is actually a slight ad for the side of NWNW. I don't know if it's really super actionable ad to work with, but you know, it is something. It gives you a little bit of a safety net at the end of the day, as they're already up to 75. So just sort of just holding these doorways in a pretty much stock standard way. One soldier watching the toxic area, a lot of the combo just watching towards crates. That's usually where most of the action is going on right now. We'll have to see what the second attempt is going to look like, but it's going to be even harder if you lose Knight that early on into your pressure. So now it's in the driver's seat for NWNW. It's going to be Miss Petal walking. I like this idea. They're really not expecting it. Goes for the bomb off the wall. Super high, reloads one rocket, gets the force! Major force to have. But now on the backside of things, they did lose another pick. That's going to be Diamond down, so we'll have to see if they're going to try to walk off of this. And they are. They're on point right now, but they have to really worry about this Uber, and they recognize it. They back out immediately. They go, maybe we shouldn't be on second after all. Funny enough, Blue Web, what is he doing on mid? He's there, and he's dead. And now here comes 47, and the Uber popped out super late. They're just going to be all these kills. They're able to find another pick on the back, though. It's going to be Kakadori just going down as well. Corsair is back behind on second. It's going to get shot by two people. Nice rocket from Petal. Able to get that down, but... Oh no, Mango is so alone! Is so alone! I understand you have to turn around to kill the guy in second, but think about your poor medic. Nobody thinks about the poor medics, man.
Oh my goodness, this poor medicine friend is just left all on their lonesome. I don't even... I don't know.
The way that we treat these medics, something needs to change. You know what? I'll say it. We're having a bit of a crisis right now. We need more respects on our medics right now. We need a scout who's actually going to watch our medics. At least a newcomer, at the very least.
I don't know. This is rough for Mango. I mean, this is just really difficult to watch for them.
Pearl goes in for a sack as well. Is not able to find anything. Dark doesn't even have the Uber to force necessarily, so it's just going to be picks down. Dark to get taken super low, but at 90% means you can't even fear pop, right? So that's going to be 3 picks down. That's going to leave Sequel the Water now controlling mid. It's going to be even Ubers on second. They're not capping super early, so I believe there is going to be some forward spawns actually.
Yeah.
Bomb through on the soldier.
Have the Uber.
Here comes 4 through forwards.
Night
the gang's all here.
This could be really good for the side of No Wind, No Waves if they play it right. They've got some decent positioning here.
47 is dueling.
Struggle getting through. 47 gets through. They're going to be able to find a lot of good damage now.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Diamond!
god! Diamond with the rocket onto Dark. Now 47 cleaning up Tim the Enchanter. Diamond falls, but it's immediately traded out as Bonkers, the killer, is killed themselves. And now the pressure is on. Miss Petal pushing in through Garage to try and get in through Toxic. Now they're through by Forklift onto point. They've got this for, well, I want to say for free, but it is not quite for free. They did have to use their Uber to get through on mid, but they should be able to build this out pretty quick. They should be able to have about 30% Uber, so I think they'll have a small window to to kind of just like throw themselves into the last. Looks like
Kakadori is able to get out just barely. Almost just dies to the spam, just being a little bit overzealous right now. But, you know, regardless if you're not tracking these Ubers well enough, you know that it is some sort of ad for you. So I'm expecting to see them pop this on the dot right now. They're building up super quickly. Already on 95%. Now, they do have a gun to attend with. It's a pretty good gun spot that's sort of hidden that you'll have to just focus down super early on if you want to make a successful Uber. But they're sort of just letting it dwindle, actually. And it's probably going to even out here, so they're just choosing to play even. I am very surprised because even if you aren't tracking the Ubers perfectly, you know that you killed the medic, right? And your medic lives, so there's got to be some sort of ad on the table. So a little bit of opportunity. Obviously not the most added in the world to have dwindled down, but you would still like to have some sort of push with a big advantage in your pocket. Now, the one thing to focus on here is Bonkers is on the sniper. I don't think we've had any snipers really proving themselves on either one of these teams. It's just not really been a factor at all this map. So I'm curious to see if there is a sniper who's just going to end up getting actual value.
Usually when you see a sniper on a Reckoner, doesn't tend to pan out too well, especially because of how far forward you have to commit to get any value. But Tim the Enchanter gets a free pick on to 47 as they just peek too far out through the doorway.
Oh,
that line
deep
theory,
bombing from Knight.
Yeah, good bomb. Good, I guess, intuition from Knight here to try and get in on that timing. Maybe a little late, all things considered, but I mean, the idea is correct, and I mean, they're going to spawn very quickly anyway, so it's not like it matters too much. Next sack coming in from No Wind, No Waves. They are just trying to get through. Petal goes down, and now we reset.
Yeah, now we wait. There is a sniper on the field now, but it's going to be a lot harder to pressure with this sniper when you are down a player and just so hurt. Actually losing the SVS to Bonkers, is peeking it out through 5 area, is able to get the pick that he needs to. That's going to slow them down even more now. And you only have 1:30 to figure out what you want to do here. Before you know it, you're in the territory where you have to think about Uber exchanging on last, and that is not ideal. You want to be able to manifest something, either just get that sentry down early or able to get a sack off. Diamond going to go down as well, slowing him down even more. Glim is spam as well, but Miss Petal goes down too. That's 2 soldiers dead. This might even be reason to push out, especially with the demo dead. And they're going to start looking forward now. That's 3 picks in lobby. So now the rest of Sequel to Water already got their way to second. 47 is just going to be going for a bit of a headshot, a cheeky headshot on the medic, not able to find it as the medic just smart stands behind the wall. So that's going to be second taken, and that's sort of what you need to push out of last on a map like this, right? You need some sort of huge advantage. So absolutely. Now, we're back on mid now, and there's actually another sniper back on the field. The 47 spawns sniper and brings it to mid. So they're going to be trying to work this more, I'm imagining, than just going for a traditional soldier sack. But it's really up to them. Here comes Miss Petal. One high bomb off of the wall is going to get so jugged early and just focused down by the entirety of the team. There wasn't really pressure to speak of, so all eyes were on her the entire time, and they're just going to find that pick immediately. So now it's on Sequel to Water to figure out what they want to do here. They're bringing multiple players through lower, and they have so much space to work to. Glim is kind of
be a devastating pinch. A lot of good damage on the
Mango.
They're going to be able to find a force. They back all the way toward the crate. That soldier has nobody with them, and now backing away slowly. There are stickies caught behind us. The sniper still alive. Mango very weak here. Combat classes left to dry. Demo getting pinched from behind, but wait a minute, they're in! Glim, you can't do that! They find the pipe, it connects with Dark, but at the end of the day, the Sequel to Water comes out on top. H2O 2.0 are victorious in this fight, securing forward spawns for their team. This forces No Wind, No Waves to play back. Dark spawning up a couple seconds before Mango as well. They're going to have to commit to holding on to last year. They don't really have a hope of getting on to 2, and especially with all this cap time here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be even Uber's last, so we'll have time to set up guns, maybe work a sniper or something like that. But still, not ideal. You just don't want to be risking just having to be on your last. That's a really nice pick on the Corsair. It's going to slow down the early sack attempt, so it's going to give them time to fully get their Uber up, get that gun built on point. So pretty ideal if you're holding last year just to set up thoroughly. And not the hardest last in the world, but I definitely would say this is an easy, especially with the how many good gun placements there are and how difficult they are to spam unless you're fully committing through a doorway. So we'll have to see what the plan is here.
Yeah, I imagine they're not going to deviate too hard from a standard hold. I mean, they have been struggling a little bit with making sure players don't just get in through doorways for free. And I think trying to just put emphasis on this, or emphasis on that, would give them a little bit more breathing room. I've seen people get in through doorways that I do not, think should be able to get through. They're just kind of waddling their way forward and getting a lot of free space. And oh no, Corsair in on the spy. I didn't even notice. Comes out as they find the 47 going to be able to find Corsair. Tim the Enchanter goes down. Now Knight goes down as well. 3-4-3, but the Uber is in play. Has not yet faded. Still a couple percent points left. Now it's just Kahaku left to defend the point, and now the Scout arrow tanked on top of it. Not able to reach the point in time as Kahaku and Bonkers will secure the next cap for the sequel to Water. It'll be 2-1 in their favor. A leader crowned yet again in this game as we have 7 minutes and 7 seconds left until overtime kicks in.
Yeah, I mean, NWNW has not been able to solve this mid. They are really just generally struggling with it. So we'll want to see what the mix-up is here now. Again, they've just not really strayed away from going for these soldier bombs. They're standing on top right, and here comes the double commit again. They're looking for the damage on the medic. Darker's going to go down super low, but they're focusing all of their pressure onto this medic and not the other players, so they're going to lose 3 for it. And that might just mean that Mango is caught, able to...
Oh, boy.
Glim dead as well. I think that's generally the issue that we're seeing as well. They're committing so much of their bombs to this medic who is just going to be expecting to bunker super early on, and they're just not damage on any player. So when they do have people go down from these bombs, there's nothing really for them to say for it, right? That you really can't have a scout through and focus a 200 HP soldier just by himself, especially if their medic is just going to be bunkering and shooting out arrows and living post. So they really need to adjust if they're going to have a better mid plan here and just be able to take what they can get with these bombs, because I like the aggression, but there needs to be a better forethought when it comes to it. Double scout on the point, super early pressure means that Diamond has to jump the point.
So much cap,
and so many people having to jump on it as well. Med jumping on the scout jumping. A clean round for the sequel to Wall, going up 3-1, and just off of how much they figured out what NW wants to do, which is pretty simple. They just want to bomb the med. And they're not letting it happen whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've got a little bit of mixed up target priority. Like you said, I feel like they're committing a lot of too many resources, really, for the beam, and that's not netting them anything. I think you would be better off going for some kind of combat, the demo. Take this like a snake water mid. You find that demo, everybody else falls pretty quickly after. You see it whenever they take down Glim, who, speaking of, extremely weak, taking a lot of damage, and they're not able to pressure very far forward. Now Knight will go down. Diamond finds the cross-map rocket onto him. When will net that pick. Now I do believe Bonkers trying to play this high. Good pipe from Glim on to Tim the Enchanter. Now the tables have turned as we see the sequel to Water on the back foot. They are ahead in Uber, but not by a lot. They will get it. They should be able to hold on to their last relatively easily, but second is out of the question.
Second's completely out of the question. And that mid was the exact opposite of what we've been seeing. They took the very slow mid. They got the counter aggression going. They killed the soldier immediately, sort of on their medic, bunkered their medic very well. And I really loved the coordination between the soldiers there. Pedal bombed in super early, was able to get a lot of space, bombed away. The Diamond bombed in, got a lot of space, bombed away, just let everybody else just walk through off of that one pick. Now they're already pressuring through onto Less. They're denying the gun from being built, so it's about any time now that they could choose to sack. Here is the sack from Pedal. They're going to find a pick on tonight. Probably going to be one of the soldiers going down, but actually no, Pedal and Diamond are both able to limp away on such low HP. They can get fully healed back up again, and now that is a 12-second respawner that they have to go for a sack again. Here comes Pedal, jumping in through main. It's going to get onto Dark, doesn't find the first rocket, but here comes the Force! Major Force to find. No, Mango is going to be caught, has to follow the Uber a little bit early.
Cap time.
Everybody else is flooding through, and they have so many picks to work off of. Just collapsing on the point. Everybody has to jump on it.
Demo's getting a lot of good damage here. Could get focused down by the Engie, who runs in for the melee, but they got too greedy! Oh my goodness, Diamond finds Timo, and also, I believe, Bonkers.
I hate to call it early. I hate to call it early, Aki, but if we see the same sort of mid and NWNW just completely flips the script on what they're trying to do on these mids, I could very easily see them steamrolling from here on out, but we will have to see. Maybe Sequel to Water will get some better aggression going if it's going to be a little slower of mids from here on.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they see this works for them. They're going to try something similar again. Don't think they'll go for the same exact, strategy. I feel like maybe H2O's, waiting for that. but maybe they're not. Water could, you know, expect them to, you know, not go for the same thing twice. Who knows? But big bomb coming in from the side of Teemo T as they are trying to get some picks. They will find Kohaku, and they will also find Diamond. That's a 2-for-1 deal, and that's a great life to have. Great spam coming in from the soldiers across the map. Not going to be able to find any picks here from it, but Bonker is going to be able to find the cleanup onto Petal as we see No Win, No Waves backing out onto their second, now onto their last, actually. Or no, they're staying on 2. But
they might want to go for an exchange here. It might not be the worst thing. They do find Corsair,
yeah,
which is going to slow a bit of the aggression. They actually might have given them enough space to actually work their way into second, which it looks like they are. They're posturing towards it, and they're getting their players out right now. So, off of that pick and off of just sticking around for just a little bit longer and trying to push that, you're able to control second instead of just having to cower all the way back to last. And that's kind of the nice thing about playing a lot of these slower mids. You know, it's less volatile posts because you will have the people respawning to help you out when you do want to hold second. So now establishing themselves a little bit on the side of NWMW, we'll have to see what the soldiers want to do on the side of H2O here.
Yeah, and I think Water here, I mean, they're just playing back. They know they've got the round advantage. They may honestly peel back and wait for Banny time to kick in. They might feel a little bit confident in, you know, their ability to just win this.
Oh my gosh,
especially with plays like that from the side of No Win, No Waves. Just great pipes from Tim the Enchanter to find a pick onto 47. Now Glim going down as well. There's nobody there to support him, and I mean, this is just a breakdown in defensive coordination. And now
there is a force, but they're down 4.
Petal falls. Teemo T is able to find those 2, and I mean, yes, you get the force, but you lose all your players, and you also lose second. And
so this is going to be scary here for a few seconds. It's everybody barreling through onto last right now. They're going to be trying to get these picks. Everybody from the side of MWMW is standing on point. They pop the Uber, but they drop Glim in it. Heavy also not going to get flashed in this as well. So super early picks for the side of
on the point.
The
scout wins the 1v1 on the point. You're kidding me. You're actually kidding me.
How?
Oh my god. The scout won the 1v1 on the point with the soldier, and then the demo still had his stickies on the point. I think that scared whoever was still on last from actually blocking, and that they didn't push forward enough to fight the scout. They couldn't close the gap, so they ended up losing the round. So it's 4-2. The game will have to end with a score of 5-something. There is still an
double bomb in.
No Win, No Win.
Nice serve from Mango.
Aku with 2 good. Yeah, like you said, good serve from Mango. But Glim going to be able to find Corsair. Miss Petal will go down, but it doesn't really matter. It's a 3-for-1 deal here. As we actually, it's a 4-for-1 deal. As Tim the Enchanter goes down 47, getting that nice pick. But the star of that mid, I think I'm gonna have to give that one to Kohaku with an opening 2K to turn it around.
And now they're able to hold down second. It's going to be even Ubers. We've seen before that NWNW does have very consistent last pressure. And they know what they're doing. There was one round where they floundered a little bit and lost 3 in lobby, but you know that they want to be proactive here. You know that they're trying to find something, either be a gun, which there isn't really anyone to speak of, or just getting that soldier bomb through early. If they're able to recognize that there is no gun, they don't hear that beeping, they can probably just send a soldier through fully buffed and just try to get onto dark. And it's worked out for them in the past, especially off of that pick from 47.
Yeah, now I think with the health situation for the side of No Win, No Waves, they're going to be backing up a little bit. They're not going to be playing too aggressive here, at least I would imagine, but maybe they get a little crazy with it. Can't imagine that's that they do, but especially with Miss Petal dead now, they don't really have a window to send anything. Counter coming in from Mist. They will get some great damage. Honestly, a follow-up could net them something here, but they're not going to be able to. They won't find anything, and now the window's open for No Win, No Waves to get their own sack in, and I don't know if they're going to be sending one here. Their window is closing, and doesn't look like they will.
No, I mean, just more choosing to repoke, and they were able to find these picks, but Kakadori's going to go down. And 47, Corsair just popping off right now. Gets so much value off of that sniper. That actually might be enough for them to work off of, because both of those picks happened in such quick succession that they're going to be dead for a minute. Here comes Knight already through. He's going to be taking Diamond has to sort of jump away towards Shutter, but now it's going to be, Petal goes for the bomb onto Bats, is not able to find too much off of it. They are able to find a trade back onto Knight, which is going to mean that, actually, I'm surprised Equal the Water doesn't want to press the aggression anymore. They have 2 outclass sitting on last, so it makes sense that they're, you know, a little worried about the counter aggression being a little too strong from NW, but now we're sort of back to where we were before. 2 minutes remaining on the round timer, and we have to see how NW chooses to crack this nut. And it's a difficult one at that. Now, I'm still surprised that there's no gun on the side of Sequel to Water. Generally, you would take the time that you see this to just run to spawn, get a gun, because gun is pretty much always better than heavy. If you have the time to get it up to a level 3, it's just such a big target that everybody has to focus down and just stop sacks. Corsair finds another, just doing so much value on this. And the pressure is not able to amount to anything anymore. At first, it looked like they were able to really get these picks down early. 47 was able to find that pick that allowed one of the soldiers to go for something, but now just sort of floundering right now. And Corsair is just capitalizing, just picking people off one by one. Only a minute and 15 remaining in this round timer.
Yeah, and with the round timer slowly whittling away, it really gets constrained for no win, no waves here, as they have to start thinking about plays they want to make. You have the opportunity to maybe send in 1 or 2 more sacks before things get really dire. You know Corsair is going to be up on Sniper. You know they have 2 soldiers. You know they have a heavy. They're not going to have an engineer. They physically cannot. You can track these other players. You know there won't be a sentry. If you take a decent enough exchange and you kite their Uber properly and you take them to the proper positions, you could find something great here. Now they drop Kahaku in the Uber. They will trade out with Mist. The counter significantly better on the side of Water, as they are just wiping, cleaning house. Bonkers finds, I believe, 3. Actually, they may have found 4, but oof, that is yeah, that is that's rough.
And also, the fact that they took that Uber exchange so early just means that it does give the time for them to just work their way into second right now. So instead of just resetting back to mid, which honestly might be preferable, noting that they do have disad on mid right now, right? Like, there's a high chance that you're just losing mid for free here. They instead are risking being pushed even further back onto their own side.
Yeah, I mean, this is just really not what you want to see if you are no win, no waves here. This is your map pick. You need to be locking in on it. You know, I feel like if this is your map pick, maybe it's one of the few that, you know, they felt comfortable enough with, or maybe they've gone...
Diamond in, it's able to get the force!
And he gets the force! Oh my god! Doesn't even do any damage to Dark, but it's just the presence that matters to get that force out. And that is all you need sometimes. And now Miss Petal is making it nuclear, finds 2 of their own in the form of Corsair and Teemo. And now 3 players down on the side of no win, no waves, but it won't matter too much as they build this Uber advantage out. Should be able to hold on to 2 and eventually convert this into a mid, as looks like Water still doesn't have their players spawned yet.
Not necessarily, but we'll honestly what the ad is. They might just choose to pop early through the door. It's going to be a super early bomb from Diamond. I don't know if that's the best course of actions, but Dark, in a little bit of trouble, is able to just barely get away from the sticky range, and there's going to be a lot of players going down now, I'm assuming, that are just sort of scampering away right now. Bonkers is hiding in the bush on mid. Miss Petal, none the wiser, is going to be jumping away, and there's so many people behind. There's 4 people behind right now, capping second. I think this might actually be a round unless we see some asshole Diamond and or Glim come responding in 2 seconds, and there's 4 people bearing down on less. That is going to be the map off of the flank pressure as well, which is super surprising to see. And yeah, that's going to be 1-to-1 in terms of maps.
Usually you don't see a lot of Reckoner games end with plays like that. And I mean, usually you don't see a lot of rounds end with plays like that in general on Reckoner, even if it is, you know, what me and some people will describe Reckoner as flank hell. Like I said, you have to have your head on a swivel. You have to constantly be aware of, you know, potential flanks, potential outplays, potential pushes that could come, you know, when you least expect it. But I mean, usually you don't see games end like that. And unfortunately, I think no win, no waves. I mean, this kind of just, I don't know. This definitely was not what they wanted to show up with on Reckoner, especially with it being their map pick. You know, they won on the other team's map pick. I think they were hoping that they can maybe walk away on their own map pick of Reckoner with a round win, or not a round win, a match win. But unfortunately, that's just not how it turned out for them. And looking at these logs here, the highest DPM, Diamond, putting in the work, 19-5 and 23, so going negative KD wise, but 280 DPM, getting a lot of damage out for their team, getting some of that softening up done, and I believe, goodness gracious, Bonkers, going bonkers, living up to the name, 33, 11, and 13, putting up a 252 DPM and a 202 DTM, so 50 damage over positive. I mean, just a really great stat line from the side of the sequel to Water. I mean, this was just rough in all accounts for No Win, No Waves. Maybe they're a little jittery, maybe they're a little nervous.
I mean, it took them a bit to adjust as well, right? I mean, they came into this map seeming very confident in the plan and just completely got bested. They were not able to really get the bombs that they wanted to off early, and that just put them really in the backseat this entire match, and they sort of had to adjust from there. And even though they had a few mids that worked out for them, it seemed like Sequel to Water was just able to adjust further as well. They were able to actually start pushing their foot on the gas on these mids, and it really worked out for them.
Yeah, and I am getting word soon, very, very soon. A giveaway right there. Exclamation point enter. Exclamation point enter. You want in on this. You want in on this. You need to get in to the giveaway. Exclamation point enter in chat. What is this? Conniekins gifting a Fizz Gun Fire.
Shout out Conniekins.
25 cap. Shout out Conniekins. Long live the Horse Run Monthly. I salute it. I miss it dearly every single day. But I mean, yeah, looking at the logs, kind of tell a story of their own. The logs, honestly, I think this is one of the few times the logs definitely reflects, or the logs, the just stat line tells a different story than the score, right? But it also makes it seem way closer than it actually was. Obviously, the stats are kind of tanked by the fact that the game went on, for a little bit longer than it probably should have. We went overtime. And I think that if this had ended a little bit earlier, the stat line definitely would be slightly different. I don't think it would change too much. And honestly, the biggest thing for this is just that No Win, No Waves refused to innovate for a while. They kept doing the same thing on these mids, and it wasn't working for them, but they kept going for it because they wanted it to work instead of trying to, switch it up and go for something that, might be a little bit different, might change things up a little bit, give them a shift in momentum, but they just never decided to go for it until it was a little too late. And, unfortunately for them, that just didn't pan out the way they were hoping. They lost their own map pick. We do have, however, speaking of map picks, predictions are live for the final map of the series, because this is a best of 3. So this is this is for all the marbles. So if you want to get your predictions in, you gotta put it on who you think is gonna win. Sequel to Water right now, fans are starving. Actually, as soon as I say that, there is a bigger number of people supporting them, but you gotta get in on these predictions, and of course, enter. Gotta get your enter in, because that giveaway is still happening. At least I hope it is by the time I say.
And even if you don't win, at least go check out the merch. Like, come on, guys, go give it a look. It's nice. I have a shirt, I have a hat. Both are still in the regular wardrobe for me. No bias, obviously, but very good quality merchandise. Great embroidery. So regardless, go check out the merch. But yeah, going to Gullywash now. Pretty excited to see, because this is going to be a very different map than what we've seen this entire series. Like, the mids are still going to be pretty explosive, but it's definitely a different sort of pacing to it, just in terms of who's going to be taking the aggression and who is. Now, I am curious to see actually what the plan is for both of these teams in terms of pressuring into the second and last point. I think that's really the big sticking point for me whenever I'm watching lower division teams play Gullywash specifically, is every single team usually has a pretty hard time figuring out what they want to do specifically into Gullywash second. I mean, it is to sack into. So I'm curious who's going to be the team that wants to do, just like bomb straight through big doors or through choke, who wants to do the sort of pressure play from the back and just sending someone into lobby. That is one thing I'm definitely looking out for. Is there anything that you're kind of looking for here compared to what we saw before that is more Gully specific?
Well, Gully is a soldier map. I'm pretty sure everybody has probably told you this. I mean, anybody who has played TF2 for more than like 3 seconds can kind of deduce that Gullywash definitely is more of a soldier map than anything else. So going into these mids, I think we could see a lot more success from No Win, No Waves trying to get those bomb mids to work. It didn't work out so well for them on Reckoner, but I think that's definitely more of like a Snake Water, Gullywash type deal. Where you're trying to get these super aggressive, super fast bombs that you're just kind of going straight into the enemy's face very, very hard and very, very fast with as much force as possible. Definitely something that works a lot better in a map like this where your choke is super confined, and if you get juggled up, you're done. Right? Like as soon as you get launched up, you are a free pick unless one of your teammates or unless one of your teammates comes to bail you out, or you have a demo like Tim the Enchanter who can lob you a dime from across the field, 100-yard.
He's been known to do it too, so I wouldn't be. But I don't know. I think obviously mids are going to be really interesting. Reckoner where it's which team is going to be aggressing early and which team is going to try to be playing the defensive here. Now the thing is that, in my opinion, playing aggressive on Gullywash is kind of always the. There's way less places for your medic to get out safely. If you're kind of choke, you're stuck in the tightest little area where explosives just completely melt you. So I'm very curious to see if NWNW is going to keep up with the theme of just initiating with these soldier bombs early on. Might feel a bit worried to do so now, but it is grand finals and it all comes down to this. So I really just hope that they're able to fully adjust. But on the other side of things, Sequel to Water, they are finally swinging some momentum in their favor. And they're doing so well off of the stability of their team. I would say is just the big highlight for them. They weren't able to be super stable on Bagel per se, but when it came to Reckoner, they really got the finger on the pulse just in terms of really slowing the game down to their pace and then just taking it how they choose to, and not going for super aggressive stuff. So I'm very curious to see what the adaptation is, as I think we're getting ready up call both of the teams right now. We'll be getting live here in just a second, and just as I say that, are going live for map 3, the decider of Newcomer Grand Finals. Take it away, Eki, on this mid.
For all the marbles, we are here. This is the Grand Finals, and it doesn't get any more grand than a third map in a 3-map series. Oh my god, Glim to mid with 1 HP, by the way. Definitely not the health you want to be arriving to mid at, especially
if super early.
Hyper aggressive, and like you said,
and Glim
super aggressive, dies very early. Glim will go down to 1 pipe the dime from Tim the Enchanter, and that, as soon as this mid started, just as quickly it has finished, and now we have No Win, No Waves all the way back to last. And there's people pulling out there for No Win, No Waves. Like I said, they are the 8th seed. I don't know if at any point in Newcomer or in any division the bottom-seeded playoff team has managed to make it all the way to the grand finals and win. I'm sure it has happened at least once. I mean, there's been almost 20 seasons of 6s at this point. But I think it's I think it's still on the table here. No Win, No Waves may just have to take some kind of pause at some point to try to make things happen. But Sequel to Water on the offense here, trying to make things work and get some good pressure, and that is exactly what is happening here As now they're getting ready to find themselves a good window to send a sack in.
Yeah, here comes the sack right now. Attempt. It's going to be night. They're not able to pressure down the gun early, so that gun just does everything for them. They don't even really have to worry about that bomb whatsoever. And this gun spot, it's pretty standard for a reason. There's no way that your medic really gets forced down. Yeah, soldier can't even fly in fast enough to not get shot by the gun immediately. So it really just means that you have to sort of pressure cook here. You have to figure out a way to get this gun forced. It's going to be timid, sort of trying to spam right now, but with just a single pressure, it means that there's not really any worry for the gun going down right now. And this is Gullywash last, right? It's the story that we've seen time and time again from however many. It all comes down to how are you going to get this pressure cook going? Are you going to try to get someone into water? Are you trying to really the initiative toward bats? You have to just decide on one thing to actually get something going here. Otherwise, it is so difficult to get in on this lap.
I mean, Gullywash is a lot of people. Honestly, I found a big divide where people say it's the easiest last to get into, it's the hardest last to get into. I don't think it's the hardest nor the easiest, but it is definitely incredibly difficult. But as we are talking about this, Dark goes down. Glim is able to find the stickies that force the drop from Dark. So now full Uber ad for the side of No Wind, No Waves, and they are mopping up kills left and right. Bonkers goes down. Corsair
47
goes down.
running up into lobby on the pump right now. It's just going to run in.
Oh, man. They're not even going to take that time to swap off. They get a kill. That's a detonator kill on the Mist, I believe. Holy moly.
I just ran through river with the power jack and is able to find a soldier just going for some sort of hide play. I mean, hey, it works, it works. So that gives all the space in the world for NW to work their way onto second here. And they have Uber ad to play with. Now, it's pretty hard to get through these doorways without usually popping an Uber unless you have some sort of major. But that being said, Diamond is going to get through drop down, hopefully making some space right now. Here comes the bomb onto Dark. Is able to find one rocket, not able to find the downward direct. Actually, might have been a pretty easy shot considering the medic got jugged against the wall right there, but just a little bit of misplay means that you're now down one pick. Now the rest of NW are bringing the whole combo with both scouts and a demo into big door, and they're going to be popping the Uber through early. Not going to find too much. They do find two, actually. Miss Petal finds one behind as well.
Hard.
Now
they gotta find the pick onto Dark. They find the pick onto Dark. 47.
Now on the backside though, it's going to be Timid still dueling on mid. Is able to find pick, and it's going to be Kakadori just going down, but cleaned up finally in the end, so not the most catastrophic thing ever. And now you have Ad working your way into second, and hopefully you're able to get some denies going too. They are probably going to be able to die too, and including the med beam on second to speak of. They're just going to flood through choke, and here comes the bombs. Tim is probably going to be caught here, caught super alone in the corner. Diamond close to getting traded out, but not really. Everybody else.
Glam.
And now 3 picks and Uber Ad. Miss Petal does go a little bit too far. She's going to get taken down, but this doesn't mean that there isn't potential for an immediate push right now. There's 3 fresh kills going right now. They're going to slow down, actually, except for Glim, who's just in on last alone. No combo to support him. It does go down, so a little bit scary. I think it's just a little bit of communication, and Diamond is also going to go down as well. Scout and Water, and they're completely floundering the advantage that they had. They had picks to work off of. They could have pushed immediately, or they could have slowed down and built the Uber, but they chose some sort of middle ground between the two, and it works out awfully for them. Nice away from Mango.
Forces a trade between Tim the Enchanter by just running up and forcing the suicide play.
You know, there is still ad on the board, right? Sure, we floundered on that last, but there is still ad to work with. We'll see if they recognize it or if they even think that they still have ad at this point, right? I mean, usually if you have a underplay like that, you're like, all right, it's pretty much even by the time we... Not necessarily the case here, but now it is that they're already built up to 85, so we'll have to see what the pressure cook is going to look like. We saw the opposite of this before. You know, Water was not able to find really much at all. They weren't really able to pressure the gun. Just sort of doing these like sack attempts to bring players into water with nothing.
Wait a minute. Kohaku is on Pyro.
On Pyro. To last. In river. To last.
And now Timo is pressuring from Launchpad. Don't really know what Kohaku is doing on Pyro here.
So we're just making shit up at this point, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Like we're just like doing anything nowadays, Newcomer.
Hey, this is where the innovations happen. Newcomer is where the new tech is formed. I tell ya. Definitely not me just making shit up to make it, seem like a better decision to run Pyro into last on offense. But hey, I'm not the players here. Maybe they practiced this, who knows? But from the looks of it, the reflex are very off time. 47 will fall. Probably could have been saved, but just an off time reflex. Maybe not close enough. No idea. But that pressure coming in now to bite them as Water pushes out onto second. They do have Diamond caught by Baby Door, who is very.
But there's the Force.
No, they're there though. Force comes out. Pyro is still kicking.
On the field, I guess. I don't love it, but hey, if it's going to provide some value, then might as well have it. Now, 47 is going to go down in the back line as well, so that's another major pick that you have to worry about. But still, this Uber ad is still on the table, so NWNW can take it at their pace and pressure with this Pyro and try to get their way into Big Door right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even really know what you would look for with the Pyro play here. I mean, I guess you're just trying to bait spam into you and then reflect it away, but you're just going to get peppered down by the scouts. Maybe it's to give your players an angle to... Maybe it's to give your players an angle to, pressure forward without the, threat of spam coming their way. But Uber comes out, 47 going to be able to find the 47 going to be able to find the pick onto Tim. Bonkers will go down. Kahaku's going to be able to find that pick as well. A lot of good damage coming out toward the choke as we force. Oh, Spoon from Mist onto 47, traded out by Kahaku. And now Corsair pressuring forward onto the point, but the pipe finds
clapped.
them. Yeah, I mean, now Day just kill bind, man. You're prolonging the inevitable. Oh, they're gonna get the sloppy. Oh my, yes.
Mango
medic on
the
medic
DPM.
violence.
And they're looking through the immediate pushdown too, and that's another pick as Bonkers going down immediately is super important here. Diamond flooding through, just making a bunch of space, and here comes the Pyro running through as well. A little bit of a mini spoon coming up from Knight, but we'll have to see how important that really is, as the spawners are not going to be there in time. And that's 1 point early on for NWNW. I mean, doing Pyro into last works out, I guess, if you just keep trying it. Definition of insanity or something like that? I'm not entirely sure, but hey,
the
what's up
crazy
for
thing
them?
is I don't know if Kahaku died to swap off. I think they lived since swapping to Pyro to make that last push happen, and it kind of just like worked out for some reason or another. But hey, a win is a win, a round is a round, especially when you're on map 3 of the grand finals. So we're getting crazy with it. Now's the time to experiment and pull out all the stops. Now, going into this minute, doesn't look like No Win No Waves has a lot of space to work with, and they know it. They are backing out.
Here's Pedal low,
especially after losing Diamond. Right,
I'm not gonna get anything.
Pedal in, but Corsair finds that mop up. No pick found. Wait a minute. Mist is just going crazy. Finds 47 and Mango. Traded out by Kahaku, but it's far too late. Mango is dead. Full Uber ad for the side of the sequel to Water. This should just be a roll straight into last.
And here they go, even before the cap is finished, they're already in through main. Here comes the extremely early Uber. They really want to try to get these kills early. Now, all the spawners did come up from NWNW, so they might be able to kite this.
Sliver. Oh, they should be able to kite this pretty well, I would imagine. A lot of good damage coming out. Mango is dead. They do need to bide their time, but it doesn't matter. Glim is going to be able to walk forward, and with players too distracted by the Pyro for some odd reason, it's just going to work out. Glim's going to be able to just chase players down and find the sticky picks. Now, they are a little aggressive on second, all on their lonesome. Nobody there to help them if they were to, say, get bombed from choke or maybe Big Door, and now they're sectioned off. The only hope they have to leave.
Oh, Diamond in the sky.
Oh man, Diamond, I don't know gonna be able to do anything about that.
Mango is so chased right now onto last. Gets actually meleeed by the scout, who just chooses not to reload the scatter and is able to get away because of it as well. So a bit of a fumble coming up from Corsair. I don't know. You tell me, Aki. I have no idea what's going on, but
shit, I can't tell you.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what I see on my screen right now. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, I see what you're seeing on your screen right now. I'm seeing that on my screen. We're tapped in. We're on the same wavelength, but man, what? I'm a little lost right here. I guess that is the beauty of Newcomer, playoffs. Everything gets a little chaotic. Even,
And there's another pyro going in to push last right now.
Wait a minute. Miss Petal is in the choke. Some good damage. The Scout coming up to follow up on the damage. We'll get the force. Kahaku also finds Mist there. Mango is screwed. I mean, there's nothing you can do here. No players with you. Sectioned off from the doorway.
And to add to the list of things that do not make sense, that was actually NW pushing out of last when they know that they have Uber Disad as well. And it goes tragic. They are able to get Dark in the back. Diamond gets another one. But there's still a Pyro into last on the aggressive side. It's going to be Corsair on the point right now. This is actually major right now. Pyro can just air blast off the point. And doesn't get enough air blasts to get people off in time. They're able to barely stand on it right now. So Bonkers feeding in, looking for anything else. Just a little bit over aggression right now, but beats me.
There's a soldier going for last.
And dies to Petal.
What the hell is happening? We're just like feeding one by one, and then we go for a team push, but it's not really a team push. It's like 2 players pushing into 4, and then we're pushing out of last with no Uber. But
all right, let's refocus here. Let's refocus here. Surely it'll be serious from here on out. Now we are at an ad scenario for NW. They're playing close to choke right now, on the side of water, but having to back up a little bit, not able to find the spin that they need, or really onto the medic. Mango's taking a little bit low, but this might be a great opportunity just to pop this Uber through super early. They get it now, and they're gonna pop extremely early into the doorway. Maybe a little bit too early to get anything super big. Tim is caught in choke right now. We'll have to see what the flank fights look like. Glim is going to be taken down, and that's 3 dead. I think it was just a bit of overzealousness on that Uber. They just popped it super early, thinking that they were just going to be handed these kills, but instead, Water, they just kite it perfectly, and they're able to get the picks back to it. So now back to last, and it's going to be an ad push. There's already soldiers in the water area, maybe looking for a bomb or something like that, or just pressuring the point, but it's up to Sequel to Water to figure out what they want to do here with this Uber. And here comes the Uber out. They're going to get actually no picks out of it super early. Everybody gets to spawn, and Bonkers goes down early. The point pressure is immaculate, though, and the soldier is able to get through water. That alone just wins them the last.
Yeah, Timo just got in from water, cleared the stickies, played the corner. Only one guy was able to bomb in time to really contest. And then by the time everybody else was able to react, well, the round was already over. I mean, there's not much they can do about that. That was just very well executed. Good spot from Timo to get in there. And now we're seeing a mid that is up on their side. Super aggressive. 47 and Kahaku going to be able to find the picks onto Corsair and Tim the Enchanter. But immediately it is basically a 4-man here. As we see, actually it's a 4 for 4. What
they actually just choose to give it up. Night gets out, Dark gets out, so there's nobody really contests the point. So at the end of the day, you're losing a lot of players, but that is a mid win. A very volatile one at that, right? I mean, there's so much risk if you're going up on the enemy team side and meeting them there, right? That everything could just go wrong for you. But works out for them, and they have their medic alive. So going to be even Ubers with NW controlling the point now. So up to them to figure out what they want to do, working their way into second right now. And like I said before, it's Gullywash. It's a pretty hard second to figure out if you don't have any sort of advantage to work off of, right? You either have to get some sort of pressure going in big door, or just rip a sack through one of the doorways that are really difficult to actually get a good bomb through, right? Like, you can get through the doorway, but there's no way that you're actually going to be able to bomb on the medic immediately. So we'll have to see what their plan is to actually sort of crack this.
Yeah, I mean, hey, a win is a win, and at this stage, you'll kind of take whatever you can get. Things are getting a little silly. Things are getting a little wonky. You know, things are starting to fall apart. I wonder if, you know, maybe tiredness is starting to set in.
Definitely.
You know, every game has been a roll. I don't think any playoff game has gone to... Actually, that's not true, because earlier in the playoffs, I do believe Sequel to Water had to play 3 maps in the semifinals. So they are the only team in the playoffs to play 3 maps right now. I don't think No Win, No Waves has had to play a 3-map series, and maybe fatigue is starting to set in a little bit for this for both teams, but I mean, time will tell. We see, I believe that's Diamond trying to go in for a sack, but hits the wall now. Missed going through drop down, jumping up over the point, spotted out immediately, but should be a free pick onto the demo, but the arrow saves their life. 47 falls. Uber comes in through big door. Counterpop coming in from the choke on the side of No Win, No Waves. They are in lower here now. Demo levitated up into the sky. No air pipe, but that will be a crater pick. 3 players down for both teams here as no wind, no waves. We pull out of mid. Actually,
and they're back in.
Timo goes
very,
down.
Very good aggression right here. I'm loving the pacing.
Forward.
I love that pacing.
Down too.
They were super smart with their Uber. They popped it, flashed a bunch of people, and were just able to find the picks, backed up through choke, and were able to just kite it out just barely, keeping Mango alive, and then just recognizing that they have the picks in their advantage and are able to push that advantage even more. 47 is going to find another pick as well. That might be enough to even work their way into last early, at least for the pressure. They're already up to 60% Uber. This is going to be about 40% Uber ad for them. So we'll have to see what the plan is from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they kind of just buy their time here. You should be building out this Uber just to try and get it out as quickly as possible. Maybe you send something fast through Shutter.
They're kind of slowed on the build.
Speed kills, yeah, definitely very slow to build. Speed kills here, though, and I mean, if you can get yourself in fast enough, you section off those doorways, find the picks that you need to, you can make this work, but looks like it's going to get stuffed inside the doorway. They're not going to be able to find anything very early on. Corsair will go down, but so too will Kohaku, now treated out by 47 and Miss Petal as they find Mist and Timo. A lot of good cap time coming out from this. I don't know when.
So much cap time. It's only 2 up, though.
Of the sequel to Water, 2 players alive, and those are the players on top of the point. Demo just needs to get some stickies onto the point, but they're playing the pipes instead. Now they're trying to play around the Uber. Soldier bombing in, gonna get a lot of good damage, and now Dark, the only one alive, backs off the point as the scout. Bonkers falls. A round is secured for no wind, no waves, and they are back on top.
This is exactly what I wanted to see, though. I feel like NWNW is really getting their stride right now. They're actually playing these Ubers and these pushes like properly, and also just pushing their advantage. They're really not fumbling right now. So if they can keep this up, I can very easily see this going to a little bit of a higher round count for them, especially off of that last super aggressive mid. Now we are back to more of a normal mid now. Both teams playing on their respective side. So no real bombs happening super early on, but that spam going down to Glim is just insane, and Diamond picked off as well is going to spell the end of this mid. Now Petal is caught in, is going to be going for a salvage bomb, gets one rocket off, looking for the second, and barely misses that one. Now it's going to be NWNW getting to their last. Now, it wasn't super catastrophic, right? I mean, you have time to set up on Gully Last, and we know from what we've seen so far is Gully Last is just so difficult to figure out if you don't have anything like really pressing or immediate to go off of. So H2O has just been floundering a little bit in that regard, so we'll have to see what they want to do now. Now Diamond going for a really aggressive play in lobby. He's able to get a lot of damage, not able to find anything else, but on the flip side, Petal is able to find one pick of her own, and that's going to give a little bit of breathing room right now for NWNW, not super under the gun right now. So gun being built up in the typical spot, and we'll just be settling in for a nice, cozy Gullywash last hold.
Yeah, and I mean, Gullywash last holds, they can be the easiest thing you have ever done, or you can, well, be condemned to hell because you just get constantly pressured. Things are not working the way they should be. Players are not watching the things they should be, but don't think we're going to have to see that kind of struggle come through from No Wind, No Waves and their players. They seem to have a good idea of what they are going to be holding, who's going to be holding what. Now, River does seem a little barren, but Pyro reflecting the spam back to it. Spam coming from Launchpad, but I mean, none of it is connecting, so that doesn't really matter too much. Sticks on the shutter. I mean, really the only thing that the sequel to Water can do here is maybe have somebody try to pressure from Water. Tim the Enchanter will go down to Kohaku's Sentry. Will get spammed out by Timo from River, I do believe. He has Corsair alongside him, and Sentry getting rebuilt as fast as possible. Pyro pressuring up through River. Soldier jumping to support. I believe this is Petal. She's trying to get her way up through River and just get some space for her team and her.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Scout runs by Diamond. What? I'm so glad you saw that too.
Never in my life.
Two ships just passing in the night. That was beautiful.
Never in my life did I think I'd actually see a moment like that. But here we are.
Welcome to Newcomer, baby.
Of course, in Newcomer Grand Finals. Where the hell else would you want something like that to happen? Oh my goodness. That is why I love this division. Petal bombs up onto launch pad, finds the pick onto Tim the Enchanter. That'll be great for the hold for No Win, No Waves. Now they're going deep, a little too deep, way too overzealous here. Mist will trade that out for Diamond. And now they have to go back to just holding on to the point. Maybe that's what
I am
they
a
want.
little terrified about how far people are forward in lobby right now. They're going to retreat back to last, but that kind of gives you a chance to get picked off right now. Especially with your med standing in main and there's people already in Shutter. Like, there's just little bit of aggression. Now, Bonker is able to find a pick, and there is a spy in secret. That is one important thing to look at here is Corsair is on the spy, and there's been so much just back and forth aggression right now that people probably aren't calling out the spy. But, oh my god, Diamond is hacking, just finds the spy early on. They're going to get another pick to boot as well. That is going to be Miss Knight dying super early, so very, very good opportunity to get something going here if you're the Red Soldiers right now.
Yeah, I mean, this could turn out well for the side of No Win, No Waves here. I think they're just going to play for the reset. I don't think they're going to try and go for anything crazy. If they do, it's kind of a throw. But, I mean, like you said, Diamond, Word.exe is open on their PC. So maybe we have to, you know, have a league official, you know, head over to their house and check things out, you know, open up Task Manager, see what's going on.
We're doing the Pyro into last again, but Pyro in last.
They're going all
exchange.
water. They're all going water with this Uber. They're coming in for the exchange. Double Pyro on the point. Oh my goodness, did you just see that? Skating around the rink, in behind on top of the demo. They're going to be able to find the pick onto Tim the Enchanter. And now all they have to do is play the point, get on the ring, and play the height. But they don't even need to do that. They're waddling forward. Mist playing the ring now. Air blasted off. Little bit of cap time, but it's too little, too late. Mish Petal mops the pick up onto Mist, and now we reset. No Win, No Wave, still up around as we go into the fourth mid of the game. 6:47 until banny time kicks in.
Yeah, and you know, these mids are looking a little bit more even, I would say. I think it's going to be anyone's game here. It was just people dying to spam that last mid, but nothing super wrong with either one of the team's game plans right now.
Yeah, and I mean, neither team really has the other figured out, and I think that is kind of just down to how chaotic this game has been. There's never been one strategy that's been the same, or at least repeated.
Double bomb coming in for the red team.
Double bomb, big double bomb. Is Petal going to be able to find a pick onto Tim the Enchanter? Now Teemo going down as well to Kohaku, but there's a soldier playing on top of Choke. Mist will go down, but not before they find a pick onto Kohaku and Diamond. Doesn't matter though, 47 trades it out by finding Corsair. 2 for 4 overall, net positive for the side of No Win, No Waves. But Dark stays alive. That is the silver lining through all of this for the side of the sequel to Water, as they are going to be able to hold on to their last with relative ease.
All right. I have a question for you. Just give me your wildest prediction here. What do you think we're going to see on this last push attempt? We've seen a Pyro, we've seen a Spy. What do you think the next crazy idea that we're going to have is? Is it going to be like a Pudis or something?
Nah.
At this point, I don't really know.
What you got to do is you got to go COD Sniper Uber, where you run only SMG. Wait a minute, they don't even need to use the Uber. They send in Kohaku and Miss Petal, and they get the force out on the point. Dark uses to, I believe, save their players, or I guess prevent a backcap or something. Maybe it's a fat finger on the point. But now, all they have to do on the side of No Win, No Waves is wait for their players. And honestly, if you
and no push out either. Usually
I
if you
don't
see
blame
that.
them.
I mean, it's risky, but you want to be able to get something back if you're going to be if they're going to sack 3 players in for your medic. But instead, just choosing to play last right now, and it's going to be full disad. Gun not built in the most ideal spot in the world. It's going to be pretty easy to focus out if they are able to get it on last. It's just being built on the top right area. So we'll have to see what the Uber is here. They're getting everybody healed up towards the river area, and they are bringing Pyro to last once again. Corsair taking super low isn't going to be able to deny too much right now, but it's all up to the Uber from NW, and they're just delaying it. They get the gun down. This should be the time to go. If it is any time, they pop the Uber onto Glimglam, who is going to get it, and they find the medic
Diamond
as well.
AK mops up the beam behind him. Tim the Enchanter goes down. 47 finds Corsair. Diamond falls. Bonkers falls as well. It's a trade. Oh my goodness, missed with the 3K to potentially save the round. But it is not enough. Miss Petal and Glimglam walk in off the carnage to plant their flag in Blue's spawn and convert a third round, giving themselves a 2-round lead to solidify their chances of walking away as grand finals champions, walking away with the gold trophy on the RGL profile. We go on to another mid, could potentially be the last one given the timing. The immediate pressure on their side. It's a nuclear bomb from the side of Glim Glam and Miss Petal. They find 3 combined now. Demo waddling across the point, gonna get taken down, but Corsair in from behind to mop up on that damage, or at least take part in the chaos. Tim the Enchanter able to find Mango before passing on. And that should give Dark a little bit of ad, but don't think it's going to be anything.
They're pushing out into 2 already. There's not really the most amount of players on second, so it's probably going to be Diamond just going out super early and able to fight their way back. I like to see it, actually, just recognizing that they have the opportunity to really actually get back onto second and just holding it down. So it's going to be actually like completely even Ubers pretty much. So it's going to be on NWNW to figure out what they want to do for the sack into second right now. 47 is going to go down. Knight is in, looking for the second rocket onto Kakadaru, but not able to find it. Going to be traded out himself, but they're still pressuring through. Bonkers through choke right now, and they're just poking and prodding as much as possible. Diamond going to clean up that forward aggression. So maybe stabilizing here, and the rest of blue team does choose to back away right now. So the ball is in the court of the Red Soldiers to figure out what they want to do. Here comes Petal. She bombs through into the right corner, gets a little bit of trade down onto Teemo.
Diamond here to mop up.
Diamond's going to follow through, though, and the rest of blue team just actually tucks their tail and runs.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. Teemo got a lot of damage sent their way, but wait a minute. Mist going in.
Oh, gets the drop!
Game changer from Mist to find the drop on the Mango. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh, it's the only pick they need on the side of the sequel to Water, changing the momentum for their benefit, but don't think they're going to be able to push out just yet.
Here comes Petal, on the last, gets the force!
The force! This is the craziest fear pop I have ever seen!
I honestly don't think that was fear. I think that Petal actually had the medic just like jugged in the corner completely, and that second rocket would have killed if the Uber was not popped. It's still crazy off timing to get something like that looked, and it just kind of comes down to the fact that Water was not really watching any bit of river right there. They were sort of just like preparing for their push out and just not accounting for someone just sticking around, in my opinion.
I think you just have to trust your teammates there. You've got 2 people. I mean, the soldier's already on half HP. You gotta have some faith in your teammates to mop up that kill there, but I guess using isn't necessarily a blunder or anything. Mango's on 4 HP, stuck in the corner, could get taken down at any moment, but it looks like we're going to see the equivalent of a team wipe from the side of the sequel to Water. Mango will be able to regen their HP, slowly get up toward height, and recapture this second point. 40 Uber ad and 47, and Glim Glam died to a trap on the door.
Yeah.
As soon as I think things are going to get hype and awesome and we could see a final push, 20 seconds or so left till Banny time kicks in. I mean, this is...
Knight's dead. Yeah, just caught alone with 1 HP. Goes for some sort of a play, is only going to mow the soldier and then just clean up by the scout in the end, so... Even Uber's now still second in their control. It's all on NWNW to figure out this last, as nobody else is really going to be pushing out for the side of... sequel to Water. So we're officially in Banny time. Next round for NWNW is going to win it, and it's going to be a long journey for sequel to Water just to figure out anything. They're getting smashed on these mids, it really seems like, and if they're not able to hold on this last, it's going to be crucial. Petal finds such a crucial pick, actually, onto the demo. Scout running through Water is going to be Kakadaru. Gets a little bit of cap time, is going to get mad, but actually stays alive, so there's so much pressure going on.
Corsair down, Uber through from both sides. They are pressuring toward the point, but the Uber is looking a little bit better for the side of the sequel to Water. Sticky's getting placed on top of the point. Scout in from Water, getting a lot of good damage, takes down the medic. The soldier on the point does not know that's a Scout. It's a team wipe, and your grand finals champions are No Wind, No Waves as they walk away from Gullywash in a 4-1 victory. It took all 3 maps, but they have come out on top. The 8th seed predicted to lose in the first round by everyone, I would imagine, walks away with it all, and it does not get any better than that.
What a banger. I mean, honestly, banger for some weird reasons, because that was a very goofy Gullywash game through and through. But once the teams really started focusing up and we saw a lot of just the coordinated aggression from NWNW, the pieces just sort of fell into place. And they were just sort of able to pick apart all of these individual plays that Water was really just trying to get done. And they floundered. They didn't have the adjustment made really for it. It just felt like the team cohesion was slowly just falling apart by time. But yeah, that's going to be it. And congrats to No Win, No Waves for winning Newcomer. So that's going to look amazing on the profile, right? And you have to imagine that all these players are pretty enthusiastic about probably sticking together. As we are going to pull up the logs right now, I want to highlight something in particular. For a roamer, we see Petal just dropping 326 DPM, going 24 and 13 on roamer on Gullywash, right? Now this is a bit of a soldier map, right? So you have to put that into account. But I think that her impact was actually just genuinely super felt. She was just manifesting picks in River and onto those last pushes as well, of forces as well. So big highlight to her. On top of that as well, it really just felt like everybody else was just playing super on it after a while. After they stopped doing their goofy stuff and these sort of individual plays into last and stuff like that, the team cohesion really kicked in. You could just tell that all the effort that they put into coaching this team really paid off for them.
Absolutely. And I mean, you highlighted the DPM. The kill difference is not crazy. It's 15, but on Gullywash, that amounts to a lot. And No Win, No Waves actually with less Uber charges, but more healing. Drops are equal, healing's about equal. I mean, overall, this was just a really strong performance from No Win, No Waves. They dropped around, they got a little silly halfway through, but they persevered, they prevailed, and they came out on top. And it is late, so we are going to end this stream pretty fast. So do you have anything you want to say before we go offline?
As always, shout out to Fireside for giving us the opportunity to cast. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I always appreciate the opportunity. Shout out both of these teams for giving us a very entertaining game, and everybody just showing up in chat too. You guys make it lively. You guys make TF2 what it is. So shout out to everybody here. Shout out Piika on production, and you as well, Eki, my goat caster, my forever duo, it seems like.
Hey, I would not have it any other way. This is the trio we got to do all of the open stuff with. But with that said, I think I got to kind of mirror the same things. Shout out to you and Piika for being here with me tonight, and also Fireside for, giving me the opportunity 2.5 years ago at this point. Maybe not 2.5.
Wow, that's crazy.
Just over 2 to really start doing this stuff. And of course, we want to give our most heartfelt congratulations to No Win, No Waves for walking away with the gold. And of course, to the sequel to Water. Didn't get the gold, but got second place in Newcomer Grand Finals. I mean, you made it all the way here. That's something to be proud of, even if you didn't get the gold.
Exactly. I think everybody here has potential to keep going and competitive. I mean, I see a lot of very solid potential from all these players, and just in terms of the team cohesion as well. These guys understand it, so I'm really excited to see if they start popping up again in some of our later season casts in AM or even IM. So we'll have to see what happens from there. But again, congrats to NWNW. Better luck next time for sequel to Water, but overall, just a very fun back and forth game tonight.
Yeah, and that'll do it for us. We will see you next time. I think we have the upcoming command you can use to check out upcoming streams. We have plenty more stuff this week and over the weekend, so we will see you then. But for now, we are done, and we will see you whenever a new stream goes live.
Have a great night, everybody. See you later.